Hey, my friends. Whoop, green screen is not set up right. My usual chaotic start. There we go. This looks a little bit better. I think that's okay. Hey, my friends, how you doing? I hope the sound is there and everything. I have again played around with my settings. Now I have connected my account to, what is it called? Patreon. So this is what these kind of pledges are also down there now. Let me put the chat here in the middle so I don't have to look to the right screen. How you doing, everyone? Hey, Leon from Holland. How you doing? Hi, Paul. Hi, Rushab. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. Hi, Michael. Howlin' Matt. Hi. Hi, NK. Hi, Sam. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Look and sound amazing. That's great. That's really good. Yeah. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Paul from Portugal. Hi, Jules. Thanks for joining, everybody. What are we up to tonight? Well, we look at the results of this week's exercise. This week I called it a challenge. I thought maybe that sounds more exciting. It sounds more fun than exercise. It's like homework. It's like, but challenge is more fun maybe. Hey, Graham from Essex, Great Britain. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, Michael from Germany. Game Coding from Denmark. How are you doing? Hi, Sean Nicholas from Holland again. Thanks. Wilbert, hi from Michigan. Hi, hi, hi. CC Case, is that the right pronunciation? Hi from Holland. LA, hi. Andrew from the UK. How are you doing? South Wales, very nice. Darley from Oregon, rainy Oregon. Oh wow, okay, yeah. It's I think it rained here today too, a little bit. So Vienna is classically a little bit warmer, but I'm actually not sure why. But yeah, today was a little bit rainy. Hi, Volkmar from Bavaria. How are you doing? Good old Bavaria. That's good. Channel Sion. I have no idea what that means. What you wrote there. So, hey, let's see. Google Translate. I hope this isn't some, let's see. Google Translate. What does that mean? Detect language? Oh, it means good evening. In Japanese. Hey, how are you doing? Okay. Konbanwa? How do you pronounce it? 1 second. Konbanwa. I've never heard that, to be honest. Konbanwa. Okay, cool. Hi. Very nice. Thanks for joining. Hi, Edel from Germany. And Twan from Holland. Thanks for joining again. Hi, Paul. Hi from sunny, developed England. Second time for live stream. Very cool. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. Wow. People from all over the world. Is someone here who speaks Spanish? Because at the moment I learn a little bit Spanish and a little bit Chinese. My Spanish is a bit better, and I prepared something for today because like this year I want to learn some stuff, including Spanish. So, oh God, let me think if I can remember. Oh God. Hola, mis amigos. ¿Cómo estás? Me llamo Olivio. Oh God, and what's the next thing? Me llamo Olivio. Y soy un... Oh God, I have written it down here. 1 second. Diseñador profesional. Muchas gracias por ver la transmisión en viva. I think, yeah, okay, I messed it up completely. I even had to put use my notes. Well, okay, it worked better when I tried it this afternoon. But I get started. Yeah. All right. Not very far from Portuguese. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure how different is it. If you speak Spanish, you understand Portuguese, or is it like, what would be a good comparison? Is it like Spanish and Italian that or I don't know actually how close they are. I don't know. Yeah, a little similar to Italian. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So it's very similar. Okay, cool. Yes, I will be, Andrew. I will be doing some these Compositions I'm doing every video, like 2 or 3 pictures throughout the stream. To try out things, I prepared a Pinterest board with some ideas that we can look at. So let's see what's happening tonight. I'm always trying to surprise myself by not preparing any kind of how to say compositions, but let's like just finding out what I find online and then try to work with that, which sometimes turns out really great and sometimes doesn't turn out too good. It's like a mix of the 3. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Cool. We can switch over to Facebook if you want to. How many people do we have right now? 40. Okay, cool. So to look at what the people have created in the group for the challenge of this week or the exercise of this week. 1 second. Let me pull this up here. How do I do that? There we go. Okay, great. Oh, wow. Okay. And also I want to show you the... There we go. Okay, good. So let me switch this over. I have to cut my hair. My God, I look really bad. And my beard. I've also cut my beard. All right. Let's switch over here. Work live. Does that work? Yes. There we go. Okay. So we had this kind of exercise... this week for double exposures. Like I have also done this tutorial to show you a little bit on how some of that is done. And people have posted really great results. So I do have an exercise every week. And I do a little Pinterest board to give you some inspiration, some ideas, some kind of guiding points, what kind of things you can do. I think we have done something similar to this in one of the live streams, not the complete figure, but just the head where some like branches and trees are sticking out and some birds are flying around. This was based on another work, not this one. And okay, let's switch over to Facebook. So there we have some works. Some are like close to the exercise, others are a bit further away, but it's pretty interesting to see what people have come up with. A lot of different kind of results this time. Let's put the chat maybe over here so I can still see that. Estate editing. I have to research that. I'm not myself an estate photographer or editor of these kind of pictures, but I don't think it's too different or too complicated from what you would normally do. I have recently read a new term from a guy who is doing his own kind of Affinity Photo book, and he writes about, I think it's called flambient editing for architecture, which a term I've never heard before, but it looks interesting. It's like how do you get this kind of nice light into the room that you have in pictures of architecture. So I have to look into that. You have the best beard? That's good. It's becoming a little bit too long, maybe. Hello, Margaret from Vancouver. Thanks for joining. Vancouver Island, Canada. Okay, so let's look at these pictures here. So the first one is from Barbara. What she's saying, scenes from Cuba with my own photos. So that's pretty cool. These are your own photos. Yeah. Are they standing like that together, or you combined these pictures of the children? Because this would be some really nice cutting out work here with the hair and the ear and the ring and stuff with the face behind. So probably that's one picture. But it's very nice to have this kind of combination, or like similarity maybe between the hair and the roses up here. So that is very nice. I found it myself pretty hard, to be honest, to get these kind of, like you see here, all these kind of beautiful combinations and stuff that is going on, and to find the right pictures and combine them in the right way. That is pretty hard. Maybe that's not so much my thing also to do this kind of, or you need some kind of more experience to do that. But I found it really hard to find good source materials for that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool starting point. Also, I like the idea that this combines a color picture with a black and white picture. So you're more focused on the things that are shining through in the background, because if you have color on color, it's kind of hard to separate what is going on. So that's very nice. Very interesting thing. By the way, what you can see in these other pictures, often this kind of effect they are using is that like this overlay, this double exposure thing, it's flowing into the shape on one side. So you see that it is overlaying it, but at the same time, on the other side, it's breaking the original form. And this makes it like a bit more exciting and a bit more like, I can say, it gives a better reason for combining these two things that usually wouldn't fit together. So I find that's a kind of an interesting effect. Also down here, for example, we have these flowers and then they replace the shape of the head, but you don't see the shape of the head anymore in the background. And this makes it more into this kind of aha effect, you know? So that might be an interesting way to do that. But thank you for the submission. So that's a pretty good thing. This one is completely different from the exercise, but I mean, it does technically do double exposure or even more because it combines multiple pictures with each other. Not exactly as I have thought about it in the exercise to be created like that, but you can, of course, do these kind of things. And this is kind of more this kind of would you say maybe old school kind of design to combine these, just put them into the picture on certain places to show information. So it's nice. I would say it's more like a vintage kind of design style to mesh these all together into one picture, but you can still do that. It's pretty interesting. It's very nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you, Barbara, for sending these. Here's one from Isabel. Which is very nice, which is also like, again, like full cover of both pictures. But there is more of kind of a blending where you see like the figure is vanishing into the background here on the sides, probably because the hair is getting darker in these areas, or there might be some shadow down here. Or you might have applied a mask to that. So because you have some shadow over here, but it's not blending as strongly. So that's pretty interesting that there is a different kind of blending here. There seems to be a house back here or something. I can't really see some kind of shapes. That's maybe a little bit irritating. Although in the hair, it could be some kind of like stuff you put in your hair to make it nice. So it might fit in that kind of situation from the things that are going on. So that's also an interesting picture and a nice blend also. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And I mean, you find these also in the kind of sense like this, where you don't play with the shapes in these senses, but you combine two pictures completely in the way that you want to show like an emotion of a person towards a landscape or towards a certain thing or something. So you might see this, for example, used in advertisement or so as a combination. Real estate. Yeah. Let's look at the chat real quick. Yes, it's flash and ambient. Is that? Oh, that's about. Okay. Editing for Howland Matt says editing for architecture isn't so much different, but the photography can be very specific in terms of what needs to be done on location. That is true. Yeah, you have to, like, I think a lot of more than half of the importance of architecture photography is like what you do, the kind of perspective you find, the kind of things you arrange, the kind of things you hide when taking the picture. There are pretty good videos online that you can find about how to set it up and what kind of what creates like an interesting architecture shot to show off a room or something like that. Also, they use a lot of trickery like lenses, like wide angle lenses or even fisheye lenses that you correct afterwards. So the room looks a lot bigger than it actually is. And often you do, for example, replacement of the landscape in the windows or stuff like that. So you don't see like the parking cars outside, but you see a nice lawn and stuff like that. Which doesn't really have to be there, or like a better weather or for that day, stuff like that. All right, cool. Let's go on to the, do you see my screen? Yes, you do, right? Okay, perfect, good. Oh, and my stream bot is also working. That's good. Posting messages once in a while. Okay, there's another one from Isabel here. Very interesting, okay. with this kind of effect of putting two cities together. Is it like a reflection, or I mean, it might be a reflection because her head has this kind of water splash as hair. So there's a lot of stuff going on, because this is often also used to have this kind of sci-fi city effect where you put the same city together twice as a reflection, so it looks like one of the half of the city is flying in the sky. I made a tutorial like that a while ago, so that's a pretty interesting effect. One thing that's a bit confusing here is that you can see the water down here, but then this in the sky looks like a reflection, and you have this kind of splash effect, which you probably would more expect down in the water. So the composition is a bit like, could be a bit more refined from what it's kind of telling. But yeah, it's a nice idea. It's a nice concept, you know. It doesn't always have to be like perfectly worked out. The more interesting part is also to train yourself into building up these kind of composition stuff like that. By the way, this is a topic I want to talk about today a little bit also, because recently several people have asked me to explain how you get started or what kind of things you should learn when you are a beginner, not in the sense of the software, but like training yourself to be like better in creating pictures, composition, stuff like that. So it would be interesting to talk about that. And these exercises absolutely help with that. That is a pretty important part. Just to like, even if you don't finish it, or if it's not like the most amazing thing you're creating, but you train yourself by doing this kind of composition, bashing together different pictures and see, would that be an interesting story, or what kind of things are happening there? Okay, let's go on. Thank you, Isabel, again for the picture. Very nice. So there's a picture from Arichit. So thank you very much for posting that. That is a pretty cool one. Very nice combination, even with two different times of day. So this, I think in this one, you have kind of a nice build up of the story and of the like framing of the different elements, you know. So you could easily imagine that this woman is remembering a time when she was there, maybe with his boyfriend, with her boyfriend or some other person, taking these pictures at night. You know, so because this picture is inside her and you can see it's a different time of day, so it happened at a different moment in her life. So there's a nice connection between these two elements. And there's also some nice guidance here of the eye. For example, you can see up here is the sun near to her face. So this is like directing your eyes toward that kind of region. So you look at her kind of face that has this kind of remembering expression on it, and then you have these birds leading down to that structure, which also is framed by her body, like you have this kind of frame in frame effect, which is very nice. So you are looking at that situation basically separately, but you connect it because it's inside of her. So it feels like there's an emotional connection. So that's pretty nice work. Very nice, also thought out. I wonder if this would be better if the landscape lines up from the horizon line, but maybe it's even better if it doesn't. So you have a clearer separation between these two different kind of situations. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Also, the colors fit well together. This kind of violet and pink from the sky to the violet and pink of the flowers in her hair. It's a very nice combination. Pretty cool. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let's have a look at the chat real quick. Hey Sharon from the UK, how are you doing? Paolo says, my question is about Affinity tools to do lens correction, straight lines, etc. I see, okay, interesting. You can do lens correction with raw pictures, strangely enough, not with JPEG pictures in the developer persona. So that's a possibility. And there's also a list of supported lenses and cameras on the Affinity Photo page. And straight lines you can do with the perspective tool. I have even done a tutorial about how to create these kind of straight lines to bend the room a little bit. And yeah, So that part I have covered, not the part with the lens correction, but this is basically simply you load the RAW and then it's automatically correcting it if it's a RAW picture and it supports the lens. It's kind of recognizing what lens it is and does apply the correction on its own. Rushabh says the process itself of doing these exercises, get the creative ideas bounce are in my head. Yes, absolutely. That's the idea. Yeah. Inspiration. Yeah. So the community also is very nice. Like join the Facebook community. By the way, I think we are almost at 1,000 people right now. How do I see this? 1 second. Let's check this real quick. And then we go to the next picture. Yeah, we need 44 more people to join. And then, by the way, there is this invite thing, and I always click it to invite more people. I hope that people don't get this like 5 times or something, because the names pop up here. I don't know where they come from, to be honest. I think these might be followers of my Facebook page, and I just click invite member, so I hope they're not spammed with these invitations. That would be really bad. It's kind of... Facebook doesn't explain what's going on here, so yeah. All right, let's go to the next picture. By Jean-Loup. Thank you very much for posting that. A Virginia Woolf portrait. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that. That's, again, very artistic, very nice. It has kind of, it looks like this effect that you have. I have, by the way, no idea how this effect is called. You know, when you look at, if you look at shells, and they have this kind of shiny light effect, like if you have oil, how do you say, not oil, what's the name of the stuff that runs your car? That's in German it's Benzene, and if you have benzene in water, it has this kind of rainbow effect, and you see this sometimes in shells. So this reminds me of these kind of colors. Gas, it's called gas. Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Hey, Herman from Amsterdam, how are you doing? Okay, so very nice combination. Also very nice flow here up with the wave. So it's very abstract in a sense. So you can't really, I mean, you see there's a wave in the background, but you don't really see the combination between them. But I assume that this is also about her kind of creativity and this kind of explosion of ideas in her mind and stuff like that. So that could be a pretty interesting thing. By the way, I actually don't know that. I'm sorry about that. Is Virginia Woolf a real person or is it just a novel? Because this is a novel written by the wife of Sartre, which is called, oh my God, what's her name? Simone de Beauvoir. Is Virginia Woolf a real person? I don't know. Or is it just a character from a novel? Oh, no, it's a real person. There we go. It's an English writer. Oh, she's a writer too. I didn't know that. Wow, okay. Wait. Is that not a novel by... Oh, maybe I mixed that up. All right. Well, outing me as someone who doesn't know what to talk about. What's the name of her book? Didn't she write something with wolf in the title? That's right. I thought she did write something like that. Well, never mind. I have to brush up on that. Oh God. What's her famous novel? I can't remember right now. Okay. So yeah, good. Okay, I've clarified that. Good. Pearl. Yeah, this kind of pearl effect. Yeah. Petrol or diesel. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Is the bot, is it posting too often? Oh no, because these are 2 different messages. Okay, that's cool. Good. All right. So yeah. Let's go on to the next picture. By the way, thank you, Sean. There's another picture of him. Also very nice again. Very cool. Psychoanalytic self-portrait. Very nice. Oh, that's cool. So this is a picture of you. Oh yeah, you even replaced your own picture on Facebook. That is pretty cool. So it's, like I said, it's a bit different from the idea of this kind of double exposure thing, but still cool. I mean, the most important thing is that you do creative things, and it is somehow related to the topic. So that's pretty cool. And digging up your own mind is a really nice idea here. Very cool. Yeah. And it has a lot of like it's cool when you look at the picture and you see so many things. Like if the picture can have its own life and you can think about different stories of what could be going on here. Like this person could be doubting itself, it could be digging up amazing ideas in his brain or stuff like that. So a lot of possibilities here with that kind of story. Very nice. Also, these kind of cracks here are very cool. Very, very nicely done. Yeah. Pretty cool. Thank you very much for creating that and showing that in the group. So that's a really nice post. Yes, I mean, who is afraid of Virginia Woolf? Absolutely. A book that actually I have never read, to be honest. But which is really strange. I have like 5 or 6 books from her, but I haven't read a single one of those. By the way, I also haven't read a book by Sartre. So yeah, so I have never. Yeah, interesting. I should read that. Okay. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a great writer. Yeah, I have to look that up. There we go. So thank you, Jean-Loup, very much. There's another picture by Linda. That's also very cool. Very nice combination of these kids standing in the clouds. And they have this kind of, you see, they have this kind of galaxy inside of them, or kind of, how do you call this? Is a dust cloud, star dust cloud? What's the English name for that? What's the German name for that? It's ein Nebel. Nebula, a nebula. Yes, right. So nebula inside there to show them better, to differentiate them from the background. So that's pretty cool. I would maybe have made this a little bit more glowy, and also add, like, you can copy this. For example, if you copy the children, put them on top again and blur it, or maybe behind them and blur it, they get a little bit more of a shine. So maybe that would have been a nice effect, but it's also cool like that. But you, like, if they are brighter, if they shine a bit stronger, their readability is a bit better, so they differentiate a bit better from the background. Or maybe make the background a little bit more high contrast. So you can see, like, there's this little haze over the stars. So if that would be more black compared to the children, there would also be more contrast between that. But it's still pretty cool. Very nice combination. Also, that's kind of bringing that together, that they are actually looking at this comet back here. So that's pretty cool. And the clouds. Very nice composition. Thank you very much. It's got stargazers, so that's pretty cool. Very nice. Thank you, Linda. Let's see. Let's have a look at the chat real quick. Andrew says, being visually impaired, I'm often amazed by people's photos they have adopted. What does adopted mean? I'm not sure. I really struggle with getting subjects separated from original backgrounds. Is there any easy way to do this? You mean easy in a way because you are visually impaired, or in a technical way of using the tools? I mean, for like making it more visual, probably you could play with the contrast to make it a stronger contrast so you can see it better. So that might help. And with the tools, like, one thing that I'm doing is, like, I'm using this kind of selection brush, and then I refine it a little bit. And sometimes, like, the selection brush has the tendency to then get pixelated and have this kind of haze that goes on both sides of the edge. So I rather not do that, and then create a mask and then paint over these areas in the mask to give it a nice border where I want it to have. And this can also be used to shape it a little bit more in the way I want it to be, to hide some things I don't want to have in there, or make some things visible, stuff like that. So that can be very useful. Yeah. Let me know if these Streamlab messages are too much, or if that's okay. They come every 15 minutes and the other one comes every 18 minutes. So I thought that might be far enough apart, but maybe it's still too much. I don't know. All right. Okay. I hope I could have answered that a little bit. If you have more questions, write them in the chat about that. If I didn't really answered it or misunderstood what you said. Thank you, Linda, again. So there's one from Klaus, Nature. Oh, with the signage down here. Okay, cool. Very interesting. Also an interesting way to use these kind of colors on just like painting them on here. They don't really like, they follow the form, but they are like bigger and like softer than the shape, which is still interesting, you know. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It looks like a more kind of a vintage style of how the things are put together, but it's pretty cool. I mean, vintage style often comes back and it's like how can I say, is still interesting. So there's no kind of thing of, oh, this is too old, it has been done before. I have seen people, for example, write, hey, this idea is old, we have done this like 50 years ago. That's okay, it doesn't matter, because everybody likes different things and styles come back all the time and interest different groups of people all the time. So if you want to create a certain style, just go for it. Everybody's creating things in their own kind of interest, you know. So you don't have to force yourself to like follow any kind of stream out there or stuff like that in the sense of like fashion or something. You don't have to follow any fashion. If you want to do something, do it. So pretty cool picture. Very nice combination with the hair. I'm not quite sure what is going on with the roses here and why they have these kind of shadows there. But that's still okay. It's really interesting. Are they flying? Like, for example, here is maybe, I mean, they don't have to have a story at all. But for me, the question would be, are these roses flying towards her or are they flying out of her back or something like that? So maybe that could be clarified with a little bit of like motion blur on one side of these petals, rose petals, so you know they are flying in a certain kind of direction. But again, this doesn't have to be like that clear if you don't want it to be. Also, this kind of what is going on back here, I'm a bit unsure with, there seems to be either a hole or there's something brighter over her back, and you have these shadows here of the petals, but in this area here they are brighter for some reason than the background. So there's a gradient on these kind of petals on the shadows, where here they look like shadows and then they turn into brighter silhouettes of petals. I'm not sure why that is happening, but it's still interesting. It's, yeah, pretty artistic, interesting. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Klaus, for posting that. There's, by the way, there have been a lot of things. We should maybe go a little bit faster so we don't take like hours to finish that. That's a really cool effect. Also a classic one to have these kind of words in the shape of something. One thing that's a bit problematic here is that all of these fonts have a bit of an outline here. This kind of, and this is very pixelated, so might be the intended style, but I don't think so. You should try to avoid these kind of problems here in one way or another. It might be a bit hard to fix them, although it looks like you try to remove a white background, because in some of these letters you have the white background still inside. You could try to use the blend. Either use the blend ranges to see if you can remove the white, because this seems to be pure white here, or you could use the blend modes of the layers, or you can try to make a selection from, if you pick a white color and then use white as the selection, color selection, basically. Let's open a file here real quick. If I have two screens, it always pops to the other screen. There we go. So when you pick a color here, you can go to select and then say select sampled color. I think you have to sample the color first, either with this tool, or it might be with this tool, the color picker tool. I'm not sure right now. And then you can make a selection that's based just on that color. So that might work also. Yeah, but it's pretty interesting. Again, very different from the actual exercise. because it's not a double exposure, but still it's interesting. What do these words actually say? Ehrmann, ich, des, von, Bell, Bruce, copyright. See there, that. I don't know. Das Kirche nach. Interesting. Maybe, I don't know, based on some kind of text. So interesting. Okay, cool. Mein Hund. Oh, that's your dog. Okay, cool. Maybe it's kind of you wrote a text about your book and then this is like the main used words or something. Interesting. Cool. Thank you very much for that. Richard Hemingway. Wow, that's a cool name. Stairway, own pictures. Very nice. So these are combined, these two pictures. Let's have a quick look at the chat real quick here. The color channels to help increase the contrast. Yes, that's also a good idea if you use the color channels. Yeah. Hey, Liam. Thanks for joining. I got a little gap in the green screen. Oh, yeah. So I do. Let's see. What side is it? There we go. Okay. Thank you very much. It's always like, oh, wow, it's coming really close. Let's put this a little bit more to the left because it's like, there we go. Okay. You see like how wide this goes. Am I maybe, oh, I think my screen is a little bit rotated. Let me see if no, this is not good. There, no, this is also not good. Is the camera a little bit to the left? Wait a second. So has to, let me see. No, other way. Is that better? There we go. Okay, good. Sorry. All right. Let's go back to the pictures or to the chat real quick. Grün 2. Yeah, okay, I hope we fixed that. Okay, so that should be better now. Good. Okay, so this one is like, it's a nice idea. I think the execution could be more interesting in the sense of really like giving the more of an illusion that this kind of like stairway is going into the clouds, you know. There could be multiple ways to do that, like paint some clouds around here that kind of go into this kind of path here, or make this look like it's more kind of transforming into these clouds over time. I'm not sure if I can explain that right. But right now it's more like, it looks like you have painted a mask where this is just looking through in the middle. So it's not super convincing that this is kind of, that there is a real combination between these two pictures. So it's a nice idea, but you should maybe do more with that. Maybe also try to find cloud pictures that can be seen like in a certain kind of wall or something, so you create like a pathway with these clouds, you know, like if you have a picture of a clouded sky and you turn it to the side, these clouds could maybe become like a wall, stuff like that. Let's see on Pinterest real quick if we find something like that. Cloud. Oh, let's just look for pictures here for inspirations. No. Oh my God. Stairway. There we go. Sorry. Well, I mean, that's nice. That's a good idea here. Oh, okay. Ah, yeah. Okay. So here is a little bit of that. Maybe. I mean, there's, oh, wow. Okay. That's also nice. So you have some examples, and this is also what I mean, like when you have an idea, it's good to go to Pinterest or another page to research some ideas on how other people have created that, because like The interesting thing about artistic work is like a puzzle, like not a puzzle in the sense of puzzle pieces that you put together, a little bit like that too, but it's more like a puzzle like in mathematics or stuff like that, where you have to figure out a solution for something and you have to find the right formula on how to do that. And like if you look at other artistic works, they already have found this kind of solution and the elements they use for that, and you can see if the result is to your liking or not. So if you take this as an inspiration, you can take a lot of good ideas from that and a lot of like really hard things to come up with on your own, and then they are already solved for you and you say, hey, wow, I can use that. I can take this to use it as like how can I say, a mechanic, but in my own way, a technique in my own way to create that picture. So I mean, that's kind of nice here. This is a little bit like not exactly what I meant, but you can see here he has spent these kind of, it's so stupid that always you have this kind of overlay. Let's go like this. There you go. That's a little bit better. Let's zoom out here. So he has bent the sky here, like a clouded sky to the side, so you have more kind of this hallway effect. Also, this is a nice idea to put this kind of light rays in the background, so they like pick up on the motion of the hallway that is created, and you have more of this kind of tunnel effect that is going toward the back of the image. So like giving your mind more visual cues that this is a like supposed to be a hall or a tunnel or something, like a certain kind of pathway. So that's pretty nice. And in this case also he kind of made it look like the clouds are formed into these stairs, which is also kind of a nice effect. And it looks like he blended a picture of stairs. Maybe this is also, it could be painted, but it could also be like blended into the picture with the same kind of colors, and then maybe a little bit of a shadow painted into additionally, especially here on the left side, and then a little bit highlight on the right side. So it's pretty cool. It's a very nice way to do that. Here's another one, basically doing, is it the same picture actually? Yes, it is. If you look at the clouds here, it's the same as the clouds here, so that's interesting. It's the same one. All right. And this is also doing the same thing, like bending these clouds around the corner to create this kind of tunnel effect. So that's pretty nice. Okay, let's go back to our pictures. I think I have closed too much. Anyways, good. All right, let's go on. Oh, that's nice. Okay, interesting. So we have a sea lion here. Thank you, Sabina, for the picture. That's very cute and funny. So kind of bringing together this kind of lighthouse as a crown for, is this a sea lion? What's the English name for that? So that's pretty cool. They also match really well. And I think in this case, it's even nice that you see the lighthouse in the background, so you know what is going on here. You have kind of an additional visual cue on this kind of combination, because if you would remove it, I guess it would be kind of hard to see why there's a crown, stuff like that going on, and why this stuff is sticking out here in the front. But because this is the visual cue here, you have a better idea about that. One thing that's maybe a bit confusing is why there is kind of this hole cut here in the middle. So maybe that's like, is it like a stripe that holds the crown on the head, or why is there a gap in the middle of the sea lion? That's interesting. Let's have a look at the chat real quick. Okay, sea lion. Okay, cool. Right. All right, so that's pretty cool also. Also nice matching with the colors. I think they fit very nicely together. And also this kind of, there's a little bit of, as you can see here, a little bit of fog in the background. And also the sea lion is kind of coming out of the fog in the ground here on the right side. So that matches pretty nicely. So really cool. Very nice work. I think that the chat thing is a bit too invasive, right? Maybe I turn that down a little bit. Should I do that now? Let's do that now. 1 second. Oh God, I have to log in here. Well, let's not do it now, because I don't want to have like things changing because they click on the wrong buttons. All right, let's go to the next one from Sabine. One more, the poodle. That's also very cool. Yeah, very nice combination. Very nice kind of finding of combining these two, like the hair, the fuzzy hair of the dog and the clouds, mix very well together. Also with the colors here, like it really, at some point you don't know where the dog ends and the cloud starts. So that's pretty cool. That's very interesting to have this kind of combination. One thing I would have probably changed is to remove this kind of food or dirt here from the mouth, so that is more clean in the face. But the rest is pretty cool. Maybe also correct the eye a little bit. There's kind of a haze in there to make it more like crisp and like, you know what I mean, expressive, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Very, very nice combination. Thank you very much for that. So really cool idea. Really like that one. Okay, thank you, Sabine. Good. Also the little bird here. But maybe you could have added more birds. Maybe this was in the original picture, but it could be an additional effect. Doesn't have to be. Where you can play around with different things. So that's very nice. Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, let's go into another picture. How many more pictures do we have, by the way? Oh my God, you have been really active this week. All right. There's another one. That's also very nice. Again from Sabine. Okay, thank you very much. Wow, you're super active recently. Okay, cool. So that's very nice. Very nice combination of these two. Also kind of telling a story of kind of, for me, it looks like that the child is lost, but you want to protect it, or you hope you could have protected the child who got lost, stuff like that, from my imagination of what I see in the picture. You might see something completely different. That's okay too. Some things I maybe would have changed, like the selection of the hand is a little bit strange on some parts, like down here with the railway, stuff like that. I can understand like the struggle here of, should I rather show the hand or should I rather show the railway? So there's a little bit of a like artistic problem to solve, like we talked before, to figure out how can I do this so it still looks good, the message comes across, it all flows together nicely. That's pretty nice. Also this part here on the hand, I don't know what that is. If that was in the original picture, that looks very kind of, I don't know, hurt or something, burned, I don't know. So and it distracts a little bit maybe from the story of that is going on here, because you try to figure out what is that, you know, and so you more want to be focused on the main story, on the main subject that's going on. And also if these are kind of protecting hands, it's maybe a good thing that the hands themselves express more of a like how can I say, kind of a safety and kind of like strength, so they have the ability to protect something rather than themselves being hurt, because that might be like showing that they themselves don't have the power to protect but that could also be part of the story, by the way. So there's a lot of possibilities depending on what you want to show. Yeah. And that's basically also part of this kind of riddle, what art is. What do I want to show? What kind of elements do I leave out, or do I put into the picture to pronounce or hide the things so the message is getting clearer? So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. So the combination, like with the hands, I think that could be better, but the story is pretty cool. All right, let's go to the next picture because there is so many of them this week. Eileen, thank you very much for posting that picture. Let's read the text. New to Olivio's site and very new to making photo creations. Enjoyed the double exposure tutorial and learning heaps. Long way to go though. Here's my first attempt. Yay, that's a pretty cool attempt for a first attempt. Very nice. Okay, so this is kind of picking up this kind of hair-like quality of the bushes, I think, in the background is what that is. So that's pretty nice. It also kind of nicely flows with the kind of flow of the neck, of the shape of the neck, and then goes outwards. Like you have this bend here that's following the neck, and then it bends over here to the side, and then on the other side it bends to this side. So that's pretty cool. That has a very nice flow. And I think you maybe added some kind of smoke back there, or fog, or maybe that's part of the original picture. I don't know. But it looks pretty good. Very nice attempt. Thank you very much. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Whoop, where's the chat window? There we go. All right. Chat is saying, can you send the link so I can add a photo? Yes, you technically can. So you can join the group, but there's already a lot of pictures in there, and I always make this kind of deadline before the stream starts, you know. But you can join the group. Let's see if people want to join the group real quick. Oh yeah, 5 people want to join. There we go. Let's do that real quick. And I think it's the sticky post on top. So if you enter the group, it should be the first post here. Yeah, there we go. It's a sticky post, and you can then comment under that. But don't post too many pictures now, because we already have a lot of pictures in here. So there's another one. So thank you, Aline. Really cool first work. Very nice. Stay active. Do more exercises. Pretty cool. Good starting point. So here we have a picture of Rushabh. This is done by combining 3 planes and watch together. So that's a bit of a different effect than this kind of double exposure thing. This is more this kind of dispersion effect, where you kind of stretch out and have this kind of explosion effect of a shape, which is also a nice effect, but it wasn't exactly part of the exercise. And it's kind of these planes are bursting through the watch and kind of exploding it, which is, it's nice. It's nicely done. One thing that is you should maybe change is that you can see here, if you look at the brush, it's kind of this kind of paint dripping brush that is used to create this effect, or the mask to show the other part of the watch here that is stretched out. And from what you want to show with the effect, because the watch has a hard surface, it doesn't really make sense to have this kind of a soft liquid dripping effect to create this explosion. So it would be better to try to take another brush that maybe has more kind of a hard surface particle, kind of stone or stuff like that shape. That creates this kind of explosion effect, so it fits better together with what you want to show there. That would make, because especially up here you can see these kind of wet liquid paint drips, and over here also. So a different brush, I think, would work better in that kind of situation. Okay, thanks Rushabh for the picture. Here's another one by Rushabh. Pretty cool also, with these kind of giant glasses here, or at least on one side. So that's pretty interesting, and it is kind of following the tutorial, so that's pretty nice. The only thing, like I've seen this picture before in the comments in the group, and the effect is pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is the way that this is ending here on that side. You know, so the effect is nice, how this is flowing into his face and has kind of the same like, how can I say, it lines nicely up with this kind of effect here towards the face. So that's pretty interesting. But at the same time, it's the outline here and how the picture is ending is it could be better. You know what I mean? It could be a bit different. So for example, if you look at these examples from the board, where's the board? 1 second. There we go. Like, for example, here, if you look at this picture, or if you have this kind of picture here, or this kind of picture, or even this one here. So you can see that they do some interesting things with the shapes of the building that then combine with the shape of the face, you know, to bring out a certain kind of effect or a certain kind of thing they want to show story-wise, stuff like that. This one is nice, where there's kind of a gap created in the head, and then you have these birds flowing out of his head, so that creates a nice story. Here's also this a little bit of a gap and these clouds in the middle. So and here this one is also nice, where the top of the head is replaced with these kind of the shape of the buildings, and they have a little bit reminiscence. Okay, let's not use the word. They are kind of similar to the shape and to the flow of the head, but at the same time, like you can imagine the original shape of the head, but then you know that these buildings in there kind of replace it in an interesting way. You know what I mean? And here, whoa, sorry, that's not the one what I wanted to show. In this case, there isn't really something interesting happening over here. So it's nice that this flows into the face of the guy, and there is some kind of story, and you get sucked into that a little bit, in the sense of he might be thinking about the city. Maybe he's a detective, he's searching for someone in the city, stuff like that. There could be a lot of story in that. This outline is kind of, there could be something done about that. I'm not sure about what exactly, but it could be a bit better, I think. All right, but still, thank you for posting that. It's a really cool, interesting attempt. I like this giant glass here in his eye, really cool. Oh, you even see the photographer here. You see the hand, the camera, the other hand that's taking the picture. So this was probably actually there when the photo was taken. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go on. Next one is from Twan. Thanks for posting them. I took a photo I made a few years ago with an old-fashioned windmill and an elevation in the grassland. I put a waterfall over the mill. Then I put water over the grassland. After that, wow, I made an overlay of a sunset to get the colors of water and sky more alike. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you did a lot of different things here, a lot of different kinds of combinations. Okay, so now after reading it, we can also see the different elements here, like this kind of water that's replacing the grass and the waterfall inside of the windmill. So, like, color-wise, these are fitting together really nicely, apart from that kind of green thing down here, the little green blob. That maybe use the in-paint brush to replace that. So the idea is there, but the combination of the elements could be a bit like softer and like more organic. You know what I mean? So for example, like here, you have this kind of like harsh outline of the like combination of the waterfall and the windmill, and for some reason you decided to keep in the this flag and the flag post here. So I would probably have removed that, even those flags and the elements over here, because they somehow stick out of the water. In this sense, like if you look over here on the right side, it looks like there is a flood going on this kind of land. But I think you want to show something different here, and to have this kind of like basically windmill, but it's in the sea, and the landscape is also a sea, so it kind of hints on kind of a fantasy world where the windmill is actually maybe more like a sea mill, you know what I mean, like a water mill kind of thing. It doesn't work with the wind, it works with water. Is kind of the idea that I'm seeing here. But to combine these elements a little bit better, I think would bring out the idea more, and to remove elements that are not exactly necessary or maybe hinder the idea or the illusion you want to create, because art is also a lot about creating illusions, bringing things together, so you create a certain kind of feeling in the person, a kind of sense. And so leaving out things is often as important as putting things into the picture. So maybe think about removing those, and make this kind of like borders here, like the way they combine a little bit more softer and organic. Like I said, look at the examples you find online and see how other people solve these kind of problems to get that together. All right. By the way, let's look at this again. Like for example, here you have this edge. So if you like add more of an effect of this kind of water, oh God, what is it called? In German, it's called Gischt. German to English. Gischt. Spray, sea spray, right. If you have this kind of spray here a little bit more on the surface, so this looks like water, then of course it looks like it's just the surface of the sea, but maybe that's okay. You have a windmill in the sea, and the windmill is made of water, so that could be cool. Could be a really cool effect. All right, thank you, Twan, for the picture. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, Chi-Fi Leong, thanks for posting that. Interesting. What do we have here, by the way? You have a kissing couple and some kind of feathers back here. That seems to be part of the original picture. Oh, is there a guy playing a trumpet? There's an arm here holding something. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. And you have this kind of church in the background. I think it's a church. Might be something else. So it is a nice combination, but the elements don't have this kind of flow of where they, like, it makes sense that they are together. You know what I mean? Like the effect is there of the double exposure and these kind of shapes and the background, stuff like that. But the hard part, and also for me, like I said, I found it really hard to find pictures who combine well, also for the tutorial, to get this kind of nice effect that you see in these pictures, stuff like that. It takes a lot of experimentation and imagination to really find things that fit together well, and you get kind of a story, or at least kind of a like creative flow that kind of just looks good, even if it doesn't have a story, you know. So in this case, the elements, I don't think the elements fit that well together. So maybe with the kissing couple, roses in the background could have been cool. To kind of create a cloud that's coming out here, stuff like that. So we have some stuff here with flowers, right? Let's go back to the board real quick. I mean, there's a little bit of flower stuff here, or these kind of birds, but birds probably wouldn't. I mean, there's something with flowers here, this kind of thing. There's more kind of thing with nature elements. So maybe that with a love couple, and you have these kind of flowers coming out of there, that might be a better kind of combination from the story. I mean, the church, if you think about it, marriage, stuff like that, makes also sense, but it doesn't really follow the form and the flow of the story that is going on here between these two. So still, even if the elements would make sense, at the same time, I would choose a church where it's clearer that you're looking at a church in the first place, you know? So with the choice of elements. Like I said, it's not that easy, but just make a lot of pictures like that and see what's coming from that. Just bash them together and see, hey, maybe that's a cool idea. And then when you have that, you go into more detail. All right. There's another one from Twen. That was a funny one. At first, I was like, what is going on? Because it says, please donate for a new roof. So I was confused by that. But it's kind of a funny idea here that you have this kind of, the gallery is flooded and he replaced the roof by this kind of picture. And I think even the perspective lines up pretty nicely here from the forest in the background and the sky of the museum. You kept the lights in there for some reason. I mean, it helps a bit to like tell the story that there has been a roof and now the roof is missing. At the same time, it's a bit strange why the lights are flowing like just in midair like that. But it's easy to like still like as for a fun picture, it's nice to have that. And this, by the way, is a pretty cool style. You find it often on like TV shows, let's say like daily shows, stuff like that, where they mesh picture together in a way that is not super sophisticated, but the lack of sophistication makes the joke even more fun. You know what I mean? Because you see that it is edited. It's just bashed together to bring out kind of the punchline, and because of that kind of rough editing, it looks more spontaneous. You know what I mean? Like in the same way that you would, like if you make a documentary, you would often use like a shaky hand cam to make it look more alive and subjective, even if the quality is worse, but you feel better about it. The effect is there better, you know? So for these kind of more like fun pictures, that is actually a kind of viable way to do things, to just bash them together like that with these kind of donation boxes here and stuff like that. That is pretty cool. Yeah. Although you have a little bit of a double thing here that it's at the same time flooded and the roof is missing, but yeah, still cool. Very cool editing. And also, again, the perspective are fitting together nicely. Is it, by the way, is this the same picture, the forest and the river here, or are these two different pictures? I don't know. All right, let's go on. Thanks, Twen, again. Oh, man, I'm talking so much. Let me drink something. My throat is getting sore. How long? Oh God, we have streamed for an hour already. Is it interesting to watch me talk about these kind of things? Or should I limit it maybe to the top 10 pictures or stuff like that if it's too much? Hey Paul, thanks for having joined. You can, yeah, thanks for taking the time to join, and see you in the next stream, hopefully. Colin says, hi Olivia, can you please do a tutorial on how to use the gradients? Can't figure out how to use them in a project. You mean the gradients from the pegs? Because I have there is a online course included that shows how to use them, how to install them. It doesn't show a complete edit of a picture, but if you look in my live streams, I do use these gradients a lot. So in this live stream also, but also in the past live streams, you can watch me using the gradients to create certain effects. For glow and for color to get the picture together, and for a lot of other effects. So that's probably a good source, and it's also in real time. But yeah, didn't I do with the packs also a tutorial? Maybe I can't remember. Definitely want feedback on my picture. Okay. I think it's helpful to get your input and another perspective of the pictures. Okay, that's cool. Good. All right. So here's a picture from Oliver. Girl and waterfall, 2 images from Pixabay. And in this case, I think that's a nice combination, at least for the waterfall and the hair here, how this is coming down, and also the kind of leaning of the girl who is leaning back, and then the landscape. It's not actually leaning, but you know what I mean. Like this, the landscape follows the leaning. So that's, oh, sorry about that. That is kind of a nice combination of these two, you know. Maybe it would be nice to end this, kind of blend this into the body over here to end it a little bit earlier, and show more of the body here on the left side, not have the complete landscape. And because this effect here is working very well with the hair, and this also is kind of nice with the face, even follows the surface structure a little bit of the face. So that's pretty cool. But over here it kind of loses the purpose a little bit. So it's at some point it's a little bit too much on the of the combination. So here it's like wow, and there's like, I'm not sure why this is still there. You know what I mean? It's still cool, but maybe the effect would be better with a little bit less of the double exposure in there. You can try that. It's always good to play around with these kind of things, but it's a pretty cool picture. Also, I like this kind of background gradient. This has this kind of bluish violet kind of touch there. So that's very nice. Thank you very much, Oliver. Let's go on to the next picture. There's another one from Oliver. Thankfully closed. Thank you for that, because otherwise I couldn't show it on the stream. So jungle and girl. Also a very nice combination of these two elements. I like it how here the how can I say, do you say canopy? Is that the right word? Sometimes I really remember the strangest words. Canopy. Do you write it like that? Überdachung, canopy. Is it like the forest canopy? Is that the right word to say? Like the roof of the forest? Like the top of these trees are following the shape of the body like a dress. So that is a pretty cool combination here. To blend that together and to have these kind of clouds over here on the arm, which also follow nicely together. Again, like over here, I mean, it's still cool. And maybe in this case, it's nice. Maybe it would have been a little bit better to take another picture on the left side, so you have more of this kind of, I mean, you see that from the perspective, the forest is coming down towards this side, following the hand a little bit. But if this would be like a mountainside that's going into a valley that is following this shape, this kind of flow from the elbow down to the hand a little bit more, and then blend it together with a fog. Maybe that would have looked a bit better, but it still looks pretty cool. So it's a very nice combination of these two pictures. And also, it's not so easy to find two forest pictures that fit together well with the same kind of plants in there and trees in there. So yeah, pretty cool edit. Very nice. Oh, cool. There's another one from Oliver. Another one with a girl. This is following this kind of example we had here, either this one or that one. So that's pretty cool. Very nice combination of these two elements. And you can see here how the removal of the rest of the picture here, so there is a gap in the head, is like you have less of the other picture there, but still it feels like more because you are more focused on the actual effect, you know? So this is what I meant before. If you reduce it a little bit, you take away elements that you don't need in the picture, your eyes and your senses are more focused on the things that are there, that are remaining in the picture, and so they bring out their intensity even more. So that's pretty nice. I also like these kind of birds that are up here flying in the sky, in between this gap here. So that's very nice, very cool, and yeah, very nice picture. Very cool. Maybe down here the effect could be a little bit less on the lower part of her, like here on the hair side of things. And also this looks like the building is getting here transparent, although it should be stronger here, not blend with the background in that case. So you have like this, there's a harder kind of, because it's a hard surface, like a harder transition on that side. It makes sense that it's softer on this side, but this thing, it looks like it's kind of the hair is kind of grown on the side of the building, which it's more like kind of robotic technical kind of thing. So I think a harder like not blending this with the background in this sense up here, just in this corner here, would have been better. Also, I like the clouds that are coming out here, and that the clouds are not completely covering the sky left to right, but they are kind of, you see this gap that starts here and it bends outward, and then the bend is here kind of taken up by the end of these clouds here. So this follows the same motion. If you would just have this covered from side to side with a straight line, it wouldn't take up the motion, and it wouldn't look as good. It wouldn't flow as well in the picture. So there's a very nice kind of detail that this is in here. Also over here, that you kind of have this kind of coming up here and then going out to the side, like a little bit of like smoke is coming out of how do you say, a furnace? No, not a furnace. What's this thing that the Santa Claus is coming through the never mind. I remember the strangest words and then the easiest words I can't remember anymore. Okay, let's go here. Next picture is from Luna. Northern Lights, 2 images from Pixabay. A chimney. Yes, a chimney. Thank you very much, Rujab. Thanks. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Canopy is the right one. Thank you, Suresh. Thanks. Hey, Sabine. Hi. Thanks for joining. All right, cool. Interesting. So that's a pretty interesting combination here of these two pictures. This is actually a very interesting combination in the sense that it covers the complete image, and it kind of combines this. It combines this kind of effect here, of this kind of shape, and like mostly these are done with this kind of white or whitish background. And with this kind of picture where there's a lot of stuff going on and you see a full landscape. But this combination, I think, is very nice, especially because you can see here that the landscape on the left and right side, more on the left side actually, is turned to black and white. And then here is turned into color where the head begins. And then on the other side, the face is black and white, and the landscape picks up a little bit of color. So you have a visual contrast between these two. And this is something you see often in artworks, that they create artificial contrasts, artificial differences between different parts, also working with light and shadow, stuff like that. Also putting light or shadow at parts where usually they wouldn't be, just to highlight an outline or a difference or a certain kind of effect, so you see it. Because if there wouldn't be this kind of switch over from black and white to color, you wouldn't see that there is kind of a shape of the of the head, or it would be very hard to see if it's blended softly with a very low opacity. But because of that effect, you see it very well, you know. So the shape of the mountain grows kind of nice and organic into the head shape. So that's pretty cool. And it's also picked up a little bit by this kind of aurora up here. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Kind of see this flow of the roundness of the head kind of picked up here and flows over here, which also guides the line towards this kind of area here. You know, you look up here and all these lines go toward that area. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, very cool. Also his, like, the eyes looking up into the sky. There's cool stuff going on there with the moons and the stuff like that. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on actually in the picture with the two moons. Very cool. I wonder if, like, would it be better without the two moons, or is it like better with the moons? Or maybe if the moons would be a little bit more to the left, but maybe that's too much if he's looking directly at the moons. That would be maybe too intense. Yeah, pretty cool. Thank you very much, Luna. Let's go on to the next picture, which is by Luis or Louise. I think it's Louise. Horse Gone Wild. 3 pictures from Pixabay. Again, nice idea. The combination of those is a little bit harsh. Like, why is there this kind of cutout area here? That's a bit strange. Like, it looks like the horse is made out of wood and there's like a table surface cut out of that kind of area. So that's a bit hard. You would like have to find like a combination of how can you put the shapes of the forest and the horse together so it looks good. Like, you could have maybe the forest grow out of the back of the horse, and also you have this kind of long neck that is going up. So this could be followed by a tree, and then you replace the mane of the, like the hair of the horse with these kind of tree branches coming out. Like, you have some of these which have, like you can see here, like these very long, like hair-like bushy, not trees, branches on there. So that could be something that you could place here, you know. It's nice with the birds that are coming out from there, but this kind of hole here in the horse is maybe not the kind of best solution for the picture, but it's a good starting point. Like, the choice of the different elements and the colors and kind of how it's blend together from the feeling is nice, but the elements, how you solve this kind of blending together is not maybe the best solution in that case. So look up some pictures online. Like I said, Pinterest is a good source for that. All right, let's go on to the next one. Isabel. My last one. I used to blend modes screen, multiply, and color. Placed own photo with the mentioned modes on top of cotton photo. I did not use the displacement map. Okay. So this is basically supposed to be a little bit of a print, if I understand that correctly, a print on the surface of the cotton here, of the fabric in the background. Like you said, it doesn't use the displacements, or like it doesn't follow the surface or of that. I mean, it is a nice combination. It still looks good, even if the elements don't really flow together like in a way that makes too much sense. Like, you know, in a story sense, this is what I mean. But still, it's kind of a nice combination. It looks cool. So you can still use that as an effect, even though it doesn't do the same things as these other kind of pictures. With this, doesn't always have to be the case. But I like from the color and how warm everything is and how like nice it looks. It is a cool expression. It's very nice, very cool. Yeah. You could do the same thing by maybe like masking these things out over the face and the hands, so you just have the fabric in the background as a backdrop for the portrait picture. In that case, it wouldn't be a double exposure, but that might be an interesting effect here. Hi, Sergey. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. All right, let's go on to the next picture. Amanda. Roses are red. Using one photo from Pixabay and one photo from Unsplash, which are both adjusted from the originals in saturation. I tried this yesterday using the same photos from tutorial, as I am new to this, but here is my attempt from today, using different photos and also a screen blend mode, as the lighten and light mode hardly showed any of the background on her skin. I see. Okay. It is like, from the idea, it's a nice combination to replacing the hair with this kind of, are they roses actually? Flowers, at least? Might be roses, I'm not sure. So yeah, I think, okay, if you turn your head sideways, it looks more like roses. So that part here is pretty cool. I would maybe reduce it over here, because you don't really need that on the face and the arm. Just the effect with the hair is nice, but then maybe make a nicer mask here on the background to like, right now you can see it doesn't really give a nice outline of these kind of shapes of the roses. So work a little bit more with that to make this look better. Let's give, like here you have these kind of examples, like this one that follows the shape of the flowers and looks better. And also, like you can see here, like the roses have a deep red, and then the background has a light pink color. So you can still make out the shape of the flowers nicely, stuff like that. And here, like, the background has almost the same, or maybe the same color as the roses. So that kind of takes up a lot of the, like the effect, you know, the effect of gets a bit lost in the background in that kind of sense. You know, it looks cool here on the right side, where you have this nice combination between this kind of red color and the black and white picture of the woman. But then on the right side, it really sucks up the effect of the colors. You can't see them because the background is so strong in that moment. You could either make all of the background lighter in color, or you can make maybe a gradient where you have this deeper red on the right side, so the face is kind of has more contrast to the background, and then it gets lighter on the right side, so you see the darker colors, the more saturated colors better compared to the background on the left side here. All right. Thank you very much, Amanda. Let's go on to the next picture. Okay, also very nice. This kind of gap effect again, that's pretty cool. With the face and the kind of the back here, you can see this nicely picks up the shape of her, of the hair falling down in the background. So this is from Tim Griffiths. Okay, both images from Unsplash, refined selection on both and masked. Never done something like this, so not entirely sure I have hit the remit. The remit? What's the remit? Is that a word? Let's see, remit. A lesson. Okay, not sure what that means, but okay, cool. No, it's actually pretty nice. Very nice. I kind of like the way, let's see, open this up. I like this part really much, with this, where this flows out of the head, and like the shapes are so nicely following the flow of the face. So this maybe would have already been enough, but I really like also this part where the tree shape follows the flow of her hair. So that's pretty cool. It's very nice, very interesting effect here. Yeah, maybe again over here could be more of the body instead of this kind of light part of the forest, but it's still, I mean, especially for a first attempt, this is a really cool picture. Turned out very well. Thank you very much for that. So thank you, Tim. Really cool. Very nice work. Oh, there's more down here. Didn't see it because the other was, but there is some roads down here. So yeah, pretty cool. Oh, there, by the way, this part here is maybe you could have ended it up here or something, because there suddenly the arm goes into a tube. It goes really straight for some reason. So that is maybe not the best thing. And also here the selection somehow really goes soft on this side of the arm. But the upper part, like until here, is really cool with the face and the hair and the shoulders and this kind of thing. Pretty cool. Yeah, Very nice. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is by Laurent. With the cat, pretty cute, sorry. It's a nice combination of this kind of cognac colored cat and this kind of like shining background. Again, the combination could be better on how you blend it together. And I think I understand why the background is black, to make the glow of the sunset more intense. But at the same time, the cutout of the cat is not so great, and she's kind of floating in darkness. So a different background, or maybe a gradient or something, or maybe if the cat was sleeping on a pillow softly or something, the ground that is down there. Not sure what there was in the original picture. So it's lying there softly sleeping and dreaming of the landscape, the sunset outside, running around in the garden, stuff like that, which is reflected then in her body. Is could be a nice combination. And you could try to somehow combine this kind of fluffiness of the fur with elements of the picture, maybe with a different picture, or with clouds maybe that pick up the shape of her fur, because this kind of, like I said, with this harsh contrast to the black, the selection of the hair, it looks kind of strange in the background. Or maybe if you would use like paintbrush, like a brush that has this kind of oil paint texture or stuff like that, or this kind of dry paint texture that you find in Affinity Photo. You have these kind of brushes here. You see, if you go to gouache, for example, you have these kind of things. They might look a bit furry. They might look a bit like a paint effect. So maybe replace this as the outer shape of the end of the upper part of the cat would maybe be a cool effect, you know, to give like this, oh, okay, it's like the ending of a painting, but at the same time, it's kind of supposed to be the cat hair, you know what I mean? So that could be an interesting effect and still keep up with this kind of harsh contrast of the black background. All right. Thank you very much for that. By the way, I will reload this real quick to see if there are new pictures down here. Not at the moment. Okay, interesting. Wait. Did people want to join? Oh, 2 people want to join. Okay. Didn't see that. So now you are joined. There we go. And so we have 2 more pictures. Arthur, thank you for that. I have to look at what is actually blended here. Like I see that there is a part of the clock is his head, but it looks like the clock is just also behind him. It's interesting. I mean, the clock and the face and the expression is really nice. It has this kind of Hitchcock character somehow, you know, this kind of time, and this guy is under pressure to solve something. Maybe he has to pay up to the mafia boss or something, and the time is running out. Looks like that. He's in kind of a drama, trouble with time or something. So that's pretty nice. It's kind of a different effect, and I would maybe combine these a little bit differently, because it's a bit random why suddenly this clock is sticking out of the left side of his head. But I'm not sure. Like, you could again look at pictures on Pinterest. The idea is pretty cool, and I like the selection of the pictures. The combination is maybe a bit strange. Maybe it's better to do it a different way. Let's see. Time head. Is there something like that? No. No. Let's have a real look here. Let's leave this open 1 second. Images. How do you write his name, by the way? There we go. Time. Is there any kind of effect like that? Scene, Hitchcock. I could swear that there is kind of a picture where he combines the face with the clock to show that time is running out. I'm not sure what kind of scene that is. I mean, there's also this kind of spiral effect. Let's go watch spiral, which I can't find right now. What is the name of this effect? It has a certain name if you make a photo spiral. This one. And you can do that with the watch also. And maybe this combined with the head could be interesting. Just an idea. So sometimes it's really not that easy to find good examples from other artists, what they have created. But that's also part of the fun to like see if you find interesting examples. Okay, never mind. But it's a pretty cool picture. It's a pretty cool picture. I think you could do more with that, but the selection and the colors and everything looks pretty cool. So that's very nice. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is by Erhard. Nothing special, but I had a few minutes to kill. I think actually that's pretty cool. That's an actually very nice picture from the combinations of how the things are blend together. Of like you have this kind of scene where you have the landscape with the forest and the lake in the foreground, and this turns into the silhouette of the guy taking pictures of the landscape, and somehow there's also a sunset there, and these kind of soft pastel colors all mix very well together. And then you have the contrast of the like not pastel but stronger colored forest in the background to highlight the photographer more. Because if this would also be like this kind of soft pastel color, it would be kind of hard to see him. But because this isn't like that, he really stands out, but you still look at the rest of the image. So that's a pretty cool combination. So yeah, very nice work there actually. Very cool. Also a combination of he's photographing the sun, the elements are there, and they pick up kind of this motion of his body in the like with the face here and the trees in the background. So yeah, really nice. Very cool. Also like how this is like the not reflection, but this kind of picking up that his body is floating into this kind of reflection effect down here on the ground. Is pretty nice. Very well. Thank you very much, Erhard. Keep on doing the pictures. Very cool. All right. I will reload this one last time. Let's see if someone has posted something. No. Okay. Good. All right. Maybe people didn't realize? No. You can see people are posting a lot of different things here. This is the same one. There's my last live. No, this is the announcement for this live stream. So yeah, people are really doing creative stuff in there. Oh, my throat is really sore at the moment. All right, cool. There we go. Let's switch over a little bit to the talk screen. Wow, there we are. my big head. Where's the chat? Try clock face. Clock face, but isn't the clock face just like the paper inside of the clock is the clock face, right? Yeah, that's just like the print with the colors is the clock face. Yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes not so easy, but yeah. Composite. Whew, all right. Anyways. Oh wow, it's a nice picture. Okay, I know you can't see it right now what I'm seeing here, but yeah. Let's maybe, although should we talk? my sore is so throat. My throat is so sore right now. Chico, yeah, you're welcome for the feedback. It was really nice. A lot of cool pictures this week. So really awesome. And also the use of Affinity Photo on these kind of effects. And I'm really happy that I managed to combine a tutorial with this week's exercise or challenge. So that's also pretty nice. I hope I can I can do that next week too. I will post the next topic tomorrow. Like I said, I will start posting them on a Friday, not on a Monday. So you have the weekend to work on these kind of things. Especially for people who have to go out and work and don't have time at home to work on this during the week. That is, I think, probably a good idea to have the weekend. All right, there we go. Oh, little chocolate treat before we go on, sorry. You know what? I like to buy after things are over, like Easter or Christmas or stuff like that. You should go to the supermarket and you get all of that stuff super cheap. Like I bought this for like 75% off, and it's super good chocolate. So you would have paid a lot of money, and now, well, I have a collection of really good chocolate for almost no money. There we go. Okay, so let's switch over to Unsplash and see what we can do today. Or not Unsplash, but Pinterest first. Wait, I will turn on off the microphone for a second so I can eat this. Okay, I'm back. Good. Let's switch over here to this screen. So I created an inspiration board for the live stream to collect some ideas. You can see here. So maybe to get inspired to do some cool effects. This is something I would like to try. I don't think Affinity Photo can do this. Maybe it can, I'm not sure. Like this super long stretchy line. This is something Photoshop could do a lot better. Because this kind of liquify function is like much more powerful in Photoshop. But maybe you can do this in Affinity Photo. Maybe also this is done with 3D software, but I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. And maybe this is also just painted in there. It doesn't even take the pixels. The pixels aren't even stretched, but maybe it's just color picking and painting this in there. It could also be. I'm not sure about that. What does this say? Slim Sunday. Let's translate this to English so you can read it too. The artist Slim Sunday takes you on a journey through a colorful and abstract parallel universe, sublime with creativity. All right, his Instagram account, blah, blah. All right, interesting. We can close some of those. Don't need them anymore. There we go. Oh, by the way, I thought like I wanted to try this maybe. If this is easy or hard, I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. And creating this ball, maybe it's not that easy, but we can try that. This is also a nice effect, but maybe not for a live stream. I have to try this out. And it's so hard to find these kind of pictures with this, combine them. But it's a cool effect. I want to have a look at that. And by the way, if you create such a board like this, this is a super powerful function here. It says more ideas. So you do a selection of things and then you click on more ideas and it presents you with ideas that are similar to what you have already created. And then you can simply click on save and it's in the board. Like here you have this kind of bent landscape, the guy standing here on the edge. Also a cool effect. Not executed that well, I would say. Because you see like this is repeating the building all the time. It's a bit strange. But it's pretty cool. Very nice. Oh, that's the same guy. He's adventurous. He's between waterfalls. So yeah, it's pretty. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Also, there was this kind of picture. I thought this was pretty cool. You see these upside down pyramids here. This might be a 3D, either a painting or a 3D rendering. Not sure if this is actually based on photos. But that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice effect. We could try that maybe as a starting picture, right? Let's try something similar with the city, and then with some like pyramids on top. We should be able to find that. So let's have some fun with that. Let me put the chat real quick over here so I can see that. I love Affinity. I use it on an online game I play in Second Life. Really? How are you using that in Second Life? Is it for like textures, or do you create artworks that you put on the walls there in this? Like the Second Life is a like a 3D game where you can build your own like surroundings. Not like in Minecraft, a little bit more complex and more 3D-ish, but you can completely build your own kind of things and look and your own character, stuff like that. It's very, very versatile. Okay. Let's have a look here. So we need a city for that. And this is, again, the problem, like finding these pictures. Like you see here, you have this kind of city that stretches out. But who is taking a picture like that, you know? So that might be a problem. And also then on Instagram, like on Unsplash, this is really amazing. On Unsplash, you have so many pictures that use the center perspective, where like the main thing, everything is centered for some reason. Everybody's like, yeah, let's put the, I see, center, 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 center. Everything is centered. I don't know why. This is centered. Also with portraits, so hard to find something where it just something is on the side, because sometimes you need that. You want to have the rest of the space. But most of the pictures, they just use this center. I don't know why. Okay, so there was one thing. I mean, this is too detailed maybe, but we can open this and then we get some more suggestions. So let's look at that. Maybe this one here could be good. Maybe this one could be good. And then you have these kind of pyramids sticking onto, like there's not much city here to see. Maybe, but still maybe it's a cool effect. This is a bit too crowded here. Let's see what we get from that. So I don't like that too much. Maybe that one. This one is also nice. Oh, that one maybe. Maybe this one. Okay. Okay, so we have some examples of that. And then pyramids. There we go, pyramids. And now that's a big question. In what kind of perspective do we need the pyramids? So either like this, or like this is like head on. But maybe that's a bit too straight here. Or we can try. Let's see. Let's try this picture here real quick. I will just copy it. We can download it later on. I don't need it right now in that kind of way. Let's go like this. And then let's try this first. Let's make a quick selection here. All right, mask. Boom, there we go. Okay. So this isn't super precise, but it's like at the beginning you want to just figure out what is going on and how you can use the things, the pictures in your image, if that would fit together or not. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get lost in the details too early. Maybe we can make this a little bit more like that. Let's take a rectangle. on top of everything. You can see now you can use these kind of gradients here. Where are they? Oh, these are the brushes. I was like, where's my stuff? There we go. So we can use this one, for example. Let's rotate this real quick. Put it on the right position. There we go. Let's blend this together. Yeah, let's leave it like that. That's okay for the moment. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Copy image. Let me look at the example first. I mean, those are really big. And they go really down to the ground. Oh, there's also pyramids on the ground. One second. Let's remove a little bit of that stuff here. So create a mask. There we go. All right. Oh, and there's this other stuff, of course. Let's go like this, rasterize and trim. Boom. So now we only have this. This goes like down there. Is that better? None of them look actually good. Let's look for some more pictures of pyramids real quick. Maybe that's a nice one here. That could be good. That could be nice. Like maybe we need some pyramids that have a more dramatic kind of look of the perspective. Like this is like more intense than this is a little bit boring here, you know. Try this one. This is a completely different kind of pyramid. I think this will be already half open. Is this the same one? No, that's a different one, right? Okay, so let's download these pictures and then do you, like, I think this is a good picture maybe, right? We could try another picture. We could try this real quick. Copy this over, background, boom, there we go. Maybe that's better. It's flatter maybe, you know? The other one has like a stronger angle to the background, so maybe this is a better idea. Okay, so let's use this one. Good. Okay, download everything. Where is it going? Here. Okay, good. And then we need our pyramids. And then we will combine everything and see if that works out or not. This one is also nice. Okay, so we have that for the moment. Can delete all of this stuff here now and place it in here again. We have to go to downloads. There we go. Hey, Ronald from Utah. Thanks for joining. Haha, hi. By the way, I was like, I forgot to tell you at the start of the stream. I hope that this stream is like staying well with the quality, because a company today released a free version of GTA 5. And so I was like, first of all, their website completely broke down. But I was like thinking maybe a lot of people download this tonight in my neighborhood. And that might be a problem with the stream, because it's a pretty big game, maybe 80 gigabytes or something like that. So if like, 100 people in my surrounding download that tonight, although it's an old game already, like several years old, so probably most people already have that. So it might not be that big of a problem. But like I said, the shop page was broken from the company, so I was a bit worried about that. Okay. Also, let's keep the conversation flowing. If you want to post something in the chat, please do. Talk about things. Let's see how we can get on with this kind of creation here. Should we can actually use the selection brush here. Let's see. This is too big. Let's go like this. Okay, that didn't work at all. There we go. That's better. Okay. Let's refine that. That should be good enough. Let's see if no, I was the wrong one. Select, invert. What does it do now? Better. Okay, good. So we have this selected. That was the wrong thing to do. Let's move this up here. Well, this actually works pretty well. Okay, cool. So we have our... Okay. What is that? Let's paint this in real quick. Nope. More opacity, please. There we go. All right, so we have that back. Okay, let's turn this around. Oh God, or again on the mask. There we go. So we have one of those here that we could put here, floating over the thing, and then we will of course like do all the kind of adjustments later on. I just want to bring in the elements first. Maybe I should have opened these files separately, create the mask first and then drag them over into the picture, but I think it works like that too for the moment. There we go. That's good. Refine. All right. Looks good enough. Select inverse. There we go. Create a mask. Boom. Okay. It's a little bit of an outline here. That's not too great. Why is this not working? Hello? Oh, I'm on the selection brush still. Okay. So that can't... Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Make this a little bit harder. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to talk about like what is a good thing to get started with, not in the technical sense, but in the sense of as an artist, if you want to get better at creating pictures and stuff like that and get more of a feeling for things, for colors, for all these kind of things. And actually an important part there is, let's switch over real quick to Pinterest here. If you look at these pictures here, you can look at like all kind of things, like pictures you like, make a collection of that. And for example, like more, I would look more maybe at paintings and 3D rendering, stuff like that, or also these kind of things, because in here you have a lot of composition, you know, also here, also there. And it is a good idea to look at all of the elements that are in the picture and then think about why did the artist decide to do it in the certain way, you know? And the more you look at them, and you can also try to recreate them, it is maybe also a good idea to sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and just like sketch out the very rough shapes that are in there. For example, here, easy picture, you just make these kind of lines that are there, and this gives you an idea and also kind of a feeling when you draw this for the composition that's in the picture. And by drawing it out and reducing it to these abstract shapes, you get an even better idea and an understanding of the combination, of the composition and of the choices the artist made to put these elements together. So this is very, very helpful to get that. So composition is a very important part. Then the other part is the usage of color and contrast. So you look at these pictures and again, analyze the details. You might, in this case, for example, go into your software like Affinity Photo and then pick up the digital brush and just very roughly paint out these shapes to see where is what in the picture, how was color used, how was contrast used, how was darkness and brightness used to highlight things, to hide things, to pronounce things, to guide the eye. And by doing that, you learn a lot. So analyzing things, painting a very rough version of the picture for yourself gives you a lot of understanding of these kind of things. And that is very important if you want to create a picture. So I would not suggest to like, how can I say, if you go in and just start to think you can like create finished artworks from the scratch without any experience, that is probably very hard and you will make a lot of mistakes, and you might also pick up on like bad habits, stuff like that, you know. So it's good to learn these kind of fundamentals first, and then over time, like get better, like I said, bash these pictures together to rough sketches to see what you want to do with that, how they like function together, what kind of results you get from that, if they like I said, these kind of artistic riddles, these kind of artistic puzzles that you have, how to solve them, how to work with that, you know. So that's pretty important to get an idea of that. And then with exercise, with trying out different kind of things, getting better over time, refining your artistic understanding, that is a very good process of just improving as an artist with your artistic expression. So this is not a technical thing of understanding the software. This is about you as an artist. What kind of story do you want to tell? What kinds of things do you want to show in your artwork, you know? And this is very important that you have this kind of a better grip on this kind of thing of your, like I have an idea. How can I express this idea? How can I make this idea interesting? What defines a good expressed idea? What defines a well-told story in a picture? That's a pretty important thing to know. And the better you are at that, the more impressive, the more interesting your artwork is going to be. Also, like, of course, you can steal, you can borrow from other artists, stuff like that. All the time, so that's not a problem at all. Like, for example, if you think about who is the guy who made Pulp Fiction? Tarantino. I mean, he's super famous, and what he's doing basically mainly as his artistic work is to look at other artists' work and then like really hardcore copying, like scene by scene and shot by shot, what they do. Sometimes, not all the times. And of course, he's a master of combining these things. I think this is on a different layer here. Oh, that's that layer. Okay, good. But like you can see in a lot of his works, like there's pages where you can read where his inspirations come from. And he's talking about in interviews that he sits down like for years watching movies, reading comics, watching TV shows, often from other cultures, from other countries, which of course is a nice idea, is a nice trick, because your audience is less likely to know where the reference come from, and you look more genuine in doing so. I'm not saying he's tricking you into something, but there is a bigger aha effect if you don't know the source. This is what I mean by that. Again, I painted on the wrong layer. There you go. So, I mean, that's a nice trick. For example, if you say, I look in another culture, I look in another culture, or I look in another time period, like things that haven't been done for a long time. You see that with fashion often. Like, this is why fashion comes back all the time, is because people just forgot about a certain thing that happened 1 or 2 generations ago, and then it comes back, and the designer looks like, wow, he invented stuff, or he like reinvented stuff, or things like that, by just lending it from other periods, from other like cultures, stuff like that. You will find this also a lot in art history, stuff like that. Maybe this should be a bit smaller in the background. Okay, so maybe we are getting closer with the effect here, a little bit at least. This is ending strangely here, so, oh, maybe I like that this is going down so far. We might need to stretch this out here. Let's make a copy of that. And this is like a super common practice in art, in design, everywhere, that you just like say, hey, that's a cool style. I will just pick up on that. I will just do that in my own way. I do a new interpretation of that, you know? And that's the main important thing. You do a new interpretation of what has been done before. All right, so let's think about how we can get these two things here together to look cool. Because right now it's not exactly amazing. Maybe we should see a little bit more from the sky. Let me see. These two are very similar. I would like to see a bit more of the sky, actually. So we see that there's a city in the background. Maybe if we skew this one, does it look stupid then? I'm not sure. Let's combine these two. But that's the main exercise. And this is also what you do in art education if you learn to become an artist. By the way, this one has only one surface. There's no edge, nothing. That's not that great. This has 2 edges, so that's more helpful. Maybe we combine, we copy this one. Let's hide this one, make a copy of that one. Put it over here, maybe flip it so it looks a bit different. There we go. Oh wait, is that the same one? No, that's different. But it's just ending here in the middle. So let's go like this. But then I still don't have a sky in the background, so how can I solve this? Maybe like this, like so. Okay, that's a bit better. Can we do something with this here? So we have one more picture with this Sphinx here. Oh, that's, by the way, a good idea to have like this maybe sun here in the background. Maybe we could put that somewhere in the front. Let's see. If you put it like this and then put it like center here. Let's remove the background here real quick. Sorry, the sky, not the background. And that's also like, it's an important part of like being an artist, is to often to understand what is going on in art at all. You know, what are the other guys doing out there, and how am I different? How am I improving on that? That's a big part of artist life, is not just to create your own thing, but to like have an idea of what the others are doing, and then improving on that and creating new cool stuff or interesting, artistically interesting stuff based on that, you know, because you want to add to the artistic, how to say, artistic community, artistic world that's going on out there. You don't want to just repeat, but like pick up on new changes in the world or whatever it is you're interested in, you know. So that's also an important part to just like have this kind of understanding. I think we can add some dunes or desert or stuff up here later on. For now, maybe leave this up here. Where could we put this? Let's leave it here for the moment. All right. So now the big thing is how do we combine them? So I want to bring them together in the same color. Let's duplicate this here real quick. Put it on top. The good old trick of just, let's make this a bit smaller here. Okay, so rasterize this and then filter, blur, average. So this turns into one color. So we have some kind of ambient light. And now if I blend this over the other parts, you can see that now the pyramids fit in a little bit better here. All right, so now we can think about how to combine that better. Again, I have my little old school tablet here, drawing tablet. So let's make a little bit of use of that. Sorry, I really should look more often at the chat. I forgot about that. What does the chat say? All these evil gamers. Yeah, reserve a copy of the game for me. Yeah, it's on the Epic Game Store, by the way. Tonight you can download it. I hope you stay in the stream and download it later instead of playing games right now. What else? Affinity has some awesome artists and designers doing tutorials during lockdown. Might want to check them out for ideas. Yes, absolutely. By the way, one of those will be a video by me. So that would be pretty cool. And I will also be in the chat on the premiere of that video. Like you can do a premiere on YouTube where then it looks like a live stream, but it's not actually a live stream, but you can chat with the other people who are watching that. So this is the premiere function basically. And I will also be in the chat at that moment. It's on the 24th of May. And they will announce it on their channel. So I'm pretty excited for that. And there's a little like a little surprise in the thumbnail of the video, especially for my video. I did a little special thing, or asked them to do a little special thing for my cover on YouTube. Okay, what else is here? Ivan says, "Hi Olivio, everyone, excuse me, but I cannot stay." Someone know how to resolve the problem with histogram in Affinity Photo? There is that problem. I don't know what that problem is of that. You need to be more specific what kind of problem that would be. Maybe from the resolution of the histogram, but if you have, for example, if you look at the histogram here, you have this little icon here, and it says, like, you can see when you click on that, it refines it. It takes a bit more CPU, but then you have a more refined version of that. Maybe that's what you mean. I'm not sure. But thanks for watching. And if you're still here, please rephrase that a bit more specific so I know what kind of problem you mean. I haven't experienced any problem myself with the histogram. Do you think that Affinity Photo is better than Photoshop? It is better for hobbyists because it's cheaper and it has all the functions you need for that kind of thing. It is not better in a technical sense on all the things you can do with it and of the pipeline of that. By the way, there's a super interesting video by Linus Tech Tips. Let's have this pulled up here real quick. Linus Tech Tips. Pretty cool channel, by the way. So here he talks about He talks about why do I pay $10,000 a year to Adobe instead of using different software. And he talks about also Affinity Photo and DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that. The problem is that Adobe has an environment of different software that all works together, and a lot of that technology and file things are proprietary to Adobe. They can't be used in other software. So that means if you have a company or you have to work with different, like for example, you use Photoshop and After Effects to create effects for your video, or you use also Illustrator. If you use Adobe, if you use Affinity Publisher, if you use Affinity Designer and DaVinci Resolve, what you need to do is you test the file in the video cutting software, and you see it doesn't work. You have to adjust something. So you have to go into Designer, edit the file, export the file, import the file, try if it works, see if you have to adjust something, go back, and then do the process again, change something, export it, import it, replace it in the video, and it's a whole process. Like, you go mad if you have to do this with like 100 different layers at the same time. It's just not, you would use so much time, working time, that is super expensive. You have like professionals you have to pay to edit your videos, and it just doesn't make sense. Like the money you would spend on paying them to do this kind of extra work compared to the money that Adobe costs per year is like nothing, you know. Like, the guy costs more in a day than you would pay for a whole year of all of the Adobe software. So in this kind of environment, the cost isn't that big of a factor, and they just say, well, it's much more convenient because you can import, for example, an Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop file right into After Effects or Premiere as a picture file, and then if you edit it in Photoshop and save it, the saved file is transferred automatically. Like, the saving is automatically recognized by Adobe Effects or After Effects or Premiere, stuff like that. You don't have to do anything else, you know. You just save it and it's there in the video software. And this can happen while the other person is editing the video, so you don't even have to close and save and open and load and all these kind of things. It's just happening at the same time, you know. So for this kind of pipeline, it's just better, you know. But if you don't need that as a hobbyist, if you edit photos like this, it's just like, it's cheaper and it has all the tools you need. So for that purpose, Affinity Photo is a lot better in that kind of sense. And of course, if you only need that kind of environment, like, you can do the same thing with Affinity Photo and Publisher and Designer in that environment. So that's super great. On the other hand, like, for example, if you, sorry if I'm finished in a second talking about this. 1 second. What is it called? Free pick. No? Free pick. Okay, let's go here. So, for example, you have here all these kind of cool things. Let's go for, let's say, flame. There you go. And you have something like this. That looks cool. That's a JPEG, actually, so that's not a good example. Let's go for this here. Or let's go for this here. So this is an EPS format. Okay, here's the problem. If it is an Illustrator file, it has effects that are advanced and they are proprietary to Adobe, so you cannot export them in any kind of way to open them in another software. You can export as an EPS, and the EPS is an open file format, but Adobe has on top of the EPS file additional, more advanced information that has these effects. So even if you can open an Illustrator file or an EPS file in Designer, it doesn't look like this. It looks completely different because the Adobe information, all these kind of effects and things you can do in Illustrator, are not there in the Designer software, you know. So this picture probably looks completely different. Maybe some things even are not there, like the flames or something, or the fog, or it doesn't blend as well, or stuff like that, because the information is just not there. The technical things are just not there, and they are proprietary to Adobe. So there's a whole kind of mess going on, and then you're basically forced to use Adobe again, which, I mean, from a company standpoint, you can even understand why should they give away things they have developed for themselves over years. You wouldn't expect that from another company. You wouldn't think like, I don't know, Disney suddenly gives away for free their techniques on filming things and doing 3D animations to other film companies for free, you know. So it makes sense from a company standpoint, doesn't make sense from an artistic standpoint. So of course, you are kind of in this trouble of what should we do or what shouldn't we do. Okay, let's make a little pixel layer here, and then paint on that. Let's go here, soft light, my good old trick for just what is it called, dodge and burn. And but like I said, like I was talking today also to another person online, and I would suggest if you get started, use Affinity Photo for at least the first 1 or 2 years. And it might have everything you need in there. So you might be happy for the rest of your life with Affinity Photo, or you might reach a limit where you say, now I need these other kind of things that I can do there. And then you can still switch, but you save a ton of money by using that at the start. And maybe you will never go beyond that kind of thing. You will never need the other kind of possibilities there. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's try and paint a little bit on this. Should I paint on this or just like make another effect? I don't know. Also, maybe I want to, maybe I do this per pyramid. Which pyramid is this, by the way? So, as you can see, it is kind of a complicated question to answer with many yes and no's in there. So it's not as easy as saying, yeah, this is absolutely better or absolutely worse, because it always depends on the case in which you're using that, your requirements, your team, your pipeline, your customers, all these kind of things can make a huge difference, you know. So yeah, you have to figure that out. But if you're starting out, I guess Affinity Photo can do everything you need and more for beginners. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm using the little tablet right now to make this side a little bit darker here. You see, giving it a little bit more shadow. Let's make this, reduce the opacity here. And so, like, for me, it's not a thing like some people are like, Adobe's evil and we hate them, I would never buy from them again. I don't think that's a good way to see things, you know, because there's always some kind of reasoning, there's always some kind of purpose to things, why they are done in a certain way. So it's not like, if it doesn't fit for you, that's okay, but it might be the perfect solution for other people, you know. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean like it's bad for it, you know. Like, I mean, there is camera lenses who cost $10,000. You wouldn't buy them. You don't need them. Why would you buy them, you know? At the same time, people out there might need these lenses. So why would you think bad about these kind of situations where people need these kind of things for their kind of purposes? You know what I mean? There is nothing bad about that if someone says, I need a lens for $10,000 because it has the kind of technical abilities that I require. That's okay. That's okay. I have no problem with that. I wouldn't afford that. I can't pay for that, but other people can. And they need it for their kind of reasoning, you know, for their kind of purpose. And for them, maybe it makes sense, you know. I mean, if you make a movie, for example, and the movie costs like $500 million and you buy a lens for $100,000, that's like, even the actor costs more than the lens, so that is not really a problem. The cost is always dependent on the income and the project, you know. If you can't afford it with the project, you shouldn't buy it. But if the project demands it and you can afford it and you get the money back, why not buy it, you know? Like, for example, with my channel, I could, like, there is these lights, you can build them like DIY studio lights. but why would I waste that time? I would rather learn in that time how to use the software better and how to be a better artist and build something to save maybe, I don't know, $50 on something. Doesn't make sense to me. So you always have to decide for yourself if this is what you want or not. And sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you are in a tight space financially and you can't do it. Like for me, I started out with the crappiest equipment you can imagine, but it was okay because it was the start of my channel and I didn't need anything better. And people said, hey, you need to do this, you need to buy this, it needs to look like awesome. But I was like, why for like 300 views? Why should I do like, I wouldn't spend like $2,000 on a camera if 200 people watch the video. It doesn't make sense, you know, financially, and like it just doesn't make sense. And I have to wait. I have to earn this, you know. I have to be good enough to tell myself, okay, now you have like done something good and you earned the right to own this thing. You earn the right to now use this for your process and be better and create cooler stuff because now you have grown into that size and into this kind of professionalism in your process. I think that makes a lot of sense, at least to me, you know. And it's also like it's a risk thing. Sorry if I talk. Do I talk about this too much right now? I don't want to like bore you with my opinions about these kind of things. So it is a risk thing, you know. If you build a business, you always have to think about how much money do I invest, how much money do I risk when I do these kind of things. And if you risk too much and then it doesn't work out, well, you have a problem. You have a big financial problem in that moment, you know. Is it? How did I? Oh, I did soft light twice. Okay, that's interesting. Let's do it here too. What was I saying? What was I talking about? Okay, yeah, what I was saying is like, you shouldn't take that risk at the start. You know what I mean? So it's better to wait and see, does it work out? Does it pan out? Does it make sense financially? And then you can invest a little bit more, but always slowly, you know. Just because now I have 20,000 subscribers doesn't mean I buy a camera for 5,000 euros for my, I mean, I have a dinky little webcam, but that's good enough. There was like it's the old Logitech webcam for $50. That's good enough for me, you know. I don't need I know other channels have a super expensive DSLR for their video, but am I really would you like my tutorials more if I spend all that money on a camera so I look a little bit crisper? I don't think so. I don't think that would be making a lot of sense, you know. So there's always kind of the calculation. You want to start. This is like there's a book what is called The Lean Startup. You want to start small, minimal investment. Think about Adobe. No, not Adobe. Sorry. Think about Apple or Microsoft or companies like that. They started in their garage. They didn't have any kind of big investment, stuff like that. They didn't pay themselves at the beginning, stuff like that, because they just wanted to see, does it work? And if it works, then you can upgrade. Okay, I really should do some more work and some less talk. Talky. What do we want to do here right now? Okay, let's blend these together a little bit better from the color. I think I want to put an adjustment for curves in each of this. By the way, again, I didn't look at the chat. I always forget to look at the chat. I'm so sorry. There we go. Let's have a look at the chat real quick before we go on. You look crisp enough. You don't want to see all of the things you can see there. What makes Affinity better than GIMP in your opinion? Oh, GIMP, my arch enemy. I don't know. I can't really talk about that. I don't like GIMP. It's just a personal thing. I don't know. It's just like, if I hear GIMP, I get these goosebumps, you know. It might be good software. I just don't like it. It's just like, it sounds super unprofessional. If you have someone who says, yeah, let's work together, I use GIMP to create your design, and like, no, thank you. It's just like, it sounds like, why would you do that? You know, there is good open source software out there. I'm not saying because it's open source it's bad. That's absolutely not the point. For example, Blender is amazing, but I'm not a GIMP fan. I don't know why. I couldn't even explain it. I'm just not a fan of that thing. So yeah, I don't know. It has some cool features. It has like, I think it has an endless canvas, and that is pretty amazing. But I'm just not a fan of that somehow. Wait, something is not going well here. Let's go like this. Oh, okay. Which, oh, I didn't use that one. Okay, so we can actually delete this one, and we should save. Let's go here, Instagram. Still have to edit all these pictures. Wait, this is 9, 10, so this is 11. Sci-fi. Let's go like that with the title. That's good enough. So we can delete this one. And okay, let's go on. So I don't think I'm a good source to ask about GIMP, because first of all, I haven't used it that much in my life. So other people know more about that, and then I'm not a fan of it, so I'm kind of biased in that way. So yeah. All right. Okay. And now we have a problem with this outline, so this doesn't look too good. But we will do some more stuff, and then it should improve. Let's have a look at the original picture real quick here. On how to... oh, they have this kind of light effect here. So like it looks like there's some stuff going on up here. Let's open this up in a new window here. You see, like there's a shine coming out of here, like there is some kind of maybe city on the upside down surface of the pyramid. So that's a pretty cool effect. And here you can see they introduced some light to get out like that this pyramid is ending here. By the way, this is a nice idea that they cut this here so you see that the pyramid is actually floating in the air. Can we do that with our pyramids? Or did I set them up in a way where this is not really possible? Oh, my cat Lolo is here. There we go. Hello, Lolo. All right. I should work a little bit faster, right? I have spent a lot of time on this thing here. So let's speed this up a little bit. Okay. Let's put our gradient on top. So you get a little bit of feeling here for that. This is the wrong thing. We don't want to have the stroke. We want to have the fill. Doesn't use the fill. There we go. Okay. So let's see if we can use that. Maybe the other way around. Place this soft. Oh. Wait a second. Hard light. Let's make it soft light first. Let's see if this is the other way around is better. Let's try the other ones here. This is too dark. Where's my other? There we have the other pack. Okay, let's use this. Duplicate that. Okay, that's pretty cool actually. Let's duplicate this again. Hide one. And then go to the other one. Oh, Lolo. Muss das sein? Oh, Katze. Vorsicht. This is a bit better here. Wait, there's the other thing here. We put this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's leave it like this for the second. Let me just work on these things here for a second. So we have this now. So I can go select shrink. So this goes, you can see it goes a little bit smaller. And then I go the other direction with feather. So this goes plus 1 pixel. And then let me see. Let's inverse this. And then maybe paint on here with black on the mask. That's a bit too soft. Let's go like this. More opacity. There we go. So the reason why I painted is because I don't want to have like here it would like make this visible on the side. Here it went a little bit visible. I have to paint into the other direction. Make this a bit smaller here. No. What is going on right now? Oh, okay, it's actually working. Is it working or not? It is working. Oh, I think this is probably with the overlay. Okay, no matter. But you can see now we have a much better selection. Let's do the same thing on the other one. And where is it? That's the one. So I hold Control and then click on the group, and this makes a selection here. Let's again shrink this a little bit, like by 2 pixels, and then go select feather 1 pixel, and then select invert pixel selection, so it's on the outside. And then I go to the mask and I simply paint on that with black. There we go. You can see now, boom, simple solution. And we probably have to go in here now and fix this here a little bit, where I went a bit too far. And again, this is kind of this strange effect here, but this is along all of the picture outside, so that's strange. But also, like, Affinity Photo sometimes makes a mistake where, like, let's see if this is the case. Let's take these two and then we stretch this out. Yeah, that's it. You see? Affinity Photo sometimes makes a mistake where things don't line up by just 1 pixel. This happens sometimes. And you see it happens here and here because the snapping is to the outside of my canvas, but still the rectangle starts 1 pixel inside. And so you have to stretch out everything by 1 pixel or a little bit more to not have this kind of strange edge out around your picture. All right, so we have created that. Let's create some light here in the background. Let's make a round ellipse here. And then we will use, so let's use our light leak gradients here, the round ones. Does this work actually? Wait, where's my styles? There. Light leak styles. Let's use this one. It's actually good. And then we need the round ones. And put this in the center, like so. And this is actually a line. It's not radial. There we go. We can put this here. I think we want to make this a bit bigger. Like so, and then blur it. Oh, it's already blurred. We want to blur it more. Let's go with, let's see. Yeah, let's just go with 100. Put this up here. Sorry, what does the chat say? Does the chat say anything? No, just my bot. I have to reduce the bot. That's a bit too much. all that kind of posting in there. That's a bit too heavy. Zoom out here a little bit. Okay, so that's not too bad. Let's go in here, duplicate this, make it a bit bigger so that it's getting much nicer. Let's see with the blend modes. Linear light. Let's make this softer here. Let's say 200. Whoops. Stretch it out a bit more. And then we want to reduce the opacity a bit, like so. Okay. And then I guess I want to duplicate this. And then bring it up here. And I think we need to... One second. This is one, this is the other. What is this one? That's the one in the background. Okay. So let's take this and that. Does this work? Why doesn't it work for the one in the middle? Huh? One second. Let's... There we go. Okay. So we have now this. So I can now make a mask. So we have this only on the pyramids, but doesn't make sense right now. Let's pull this out here, put this in a group, put the mask on the group. This enables me to move around the ellipse inside. So we want to go like this probably. Make this a bit smaller. That's a bit too intense here. Okay. We still have a problem here. I could do the other thing again, or maybe find another solution. This is really annoying right now. Maybe, you know what? Let's give me this mask here. And then we can turn this into a outline. Like so. That looks okay. Apply. So now we have this as a mask. Let me see if we now create a layer here, set this to saturation. Why is it blue? Hue? No. Color? No. Okay, that's interesting. Let's delete that. Let's go here to HSL. This should now have this as a mask. So if I reduce, why is this taking blue? All right, let's. So what I'm doing here is like, I wanted to desaturate that edge. And then if I have the other effect on top of that, oh, maybe it does work. It's still, you can still see it. Yeah, I mean, it was a good idea, but didn't work. Can still see the kind of... Ah, that's so annoying. Come on. Yum, 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 yum. What are we doing here? Okay, again, let's select all of these, put them in a group, and then select this again, and then shrink this. This time a bit more. Let's zoom in here. Shrink this a bit more, like so maybe. That could be good enough. Okay, good. So, where's my group? There's my group. Okay, let's put a mask on that. Did that? What is this now? Am I crazy? What the? Is this maybe not? 1 second. Let's identify where this is coming from. So we have this. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Because we have created a new mask for this. And then we have a different mask for the other one. So the only thing we need to do here is duplicate this. And then put this on here. Delete. No! We have the blue edge again. It's coming from this stuff here, from my overlays. Wait a second. What? Where is this coming from? Is this a blending problem from Affinity Photo, maybe? Like this 1 pixel thing? Could that be? Okay, I will duplicate this. Duplicate. You can see it doubled the effect, so has to do something with that. So let's rasterize and trim this. Ah, there we go. So this is another like of these mask problems with Affinity Photo. All right. Whoops, sorry. Okay. It's still not perfect, but it's like better than before. Let's have a look here. So again, this is some mask thing here. Maybe rasterize this too and trim it. Let's see. Oh, let's duplicate this first. Rasterize and trim. And then change what's the blend mode here? Linear light. Where is it? Linear lights down there. Okay, there you go. You see? That basically solved the problem. So if you have these kind of sometimes strange problems here, does it solve it actually? Kind of. If you have these kind of problems here sometimes with edges and masks and stuff like that, often this is a problem in Affinity Photo with how the mask works and how it blends. And so by rasterizing it and removing the mask because you rasterize it, this kind of solves the problem sometimes. So yeah, by the way, now we have a really kind of strange light here. Well, we will paint this in. Your own version of Independence Day. Yeah. Is Affinity Photo license based on the operation system? I don't think so. I think if you have it, you can install it wherever you want. But don't quote me on that. You have to ask them. I don't know. So I don't know. I think you can install it on... We will just resize the picture afterwards by pixel. Don't worry about the edge right now. Okay, let's do some painting here. Add some light effects. Because right now this looks a bit crappy up here. Should I go soft light or just like... Let's go multiply for a second. Oh, we can actually go here. This is why I created these colors. So let's have these colors here. Paint a little bit with them. See what we get from that to finish this up. You can really see from my process, I like to work kind of slow with things, take my time to figure things out. So yeah, but well, it's okay, I think. Let's paint a little bit here. That looks completely not the way I want it to be. So make this soft, maybe make this a little bit bigger here, like so. No, even bigger. Okay, let's zoom out. And, oh God, I have to use the mouse. 1 second. Let's reduce this, let's say 20% or something like that. Okay, good. So, this, there we go. Just want to make this a little bit darker over here. And then maybe make a second layer, also set this to multiply, I'm not sure. Let's take some of this violet light from down here. Maybe a bit brighter. Lightness. If you go to lightness, by the way, here you have this kind of all these settings. Lightness, you can change basically the brightness of the color without changing the color. You see the color stays the same. It's just getting darker or brighter. This can be very helpful if you want to have a specific color and just change how bright it is, how dark it is. Let's go to lighten and then blur this a bit more. I will paint on here and then maybe we can change it later on. Ooh! Way too much. That wasn't what I wanted to have. I might need to again use a mask here, but let's just paint for the moment. That's actually not too bad. Okay, that was too much. Okay. Let's pick some of this yellow here. Oh, that's actually green. Let's make this a little bit more yellow. There we go. Okay. Maybe let's make another layer here. Let's go back to the blue we used before. Let's maybe paint some in here down there. Let's blur this again. So we have softer layer. Make this a bit bigger. No, that was too much. Or maybe let's do it like that. And then I make a second layer, set that to multiply, take a darker violet. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that actually changed something. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we have a little bit of a problem here. I think I want to create a layer down here. And then, let's see, let's take this color here again, set it to lighten. Make it again soft, like blur it a little bit. And then let's paint a little bit down here. No, that wasn't it. Let's try the yellow. No. Okay, let me look at the other picture. What did they do? They had a nice bright sky, which I don't have. Not here, at least. So, we could make this a bit brighter here. Let's try this. Let's see if we extend this glow here a little bit to that side. And also over here. But that doesn't look right on the left side. So we need maybe this kind of pink color here. Let's make another layer. Let's maybe set this to a vivid light. A vivid light gives more color. So that's better. You can see, like, if I have this on screen, for example, or lighten. Let's set it to lighten. Where's lighten? Up there's lighten. You see, not very much color in there. When I set it to screen, also not very much color. When I set it to vivid light, you have more color in there. So that's pretty nice to have. Now let's make a mask. Oh, not a mask here actually, but let's make just a selection. And then let's make another layer. We have a ton of layers. Let's save this before we crash the computer. And then maybe make this a little bit darker here. Let's try darken real quick, or we can also try vivid light here. I'll select a dark blue, paint a little bit on this. It's probably too much. Darken color, doesn't do anything. Color burn. Yeah, let's use that. So that goes a little bit darker there. And then, oh, did I deselect? Wait 1 second. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. And then, which one was that? That's this. Oh, that's the other one. Okay. So let's make another layer here still. And then paint a little bit more here. 1 second. Make this a bit harder. No. Okay. That is a bit too much. Yeah, let's use vivid light, reduce the effect a little bit. There we go. Okay, cool. We kind of have to do, like, I really hate how this looks over here. So we have to do a little bit of that over here again. Should we use the same layers? We can. Where's my mask? Is this the mask? Yes. Okay, cool. So let's go again here with the blue. Make this side a little bit darker. And then bring in some color on the other side. Let's take the other layer here. Although I probably want to have a different layer for that. Set this to vivid light. Okay, that's better. That doesn't look right. Okay, let's undo this. Although we can paint this in like that and then just reduce the effect on the layer. Okay, and so you see the reason why I put this on an extra layer is because now you can see here I have the effect too, but I don't want to. So I can now use my eraser and just, let's make this a little bit harder here. Delete these parts that I don't need over here. There we go. And then reduce that a little bit. Like so. It looks a little bit strange. Let's put this on top of the other layer. Make this blue. Make this down here a little bit darker. Does this do anything? For some reason it doesn't. That's strange. Okay. Let's make a new layer. Paint a little bit here. Doesn't do anything because I am on the eraser. Oh God, my good old, my arch enemy of changing to the right brush or to the right tool. Always doing the wrong thing here. So let's just like make this part down here a little bit darker. Okay, good. There is one thing, like this thing here doesn't look really great. Where is that? What is that? 1 second. That's this thing here. Let's maybe paint on that a little bit here. Maybe just like that. Yeah, okay. We could actually go and maybe try a lens flare effect here. Let's go to Pixabay real quick. I used that one last time too. Did I use that one last time too? I think so. I'm not. Yeah, in the end. I used that in the end. Let's download this. Save it here. Place that on top. If we find it. Goes to text file. There we go. Boom. All right. Let's move this here. Set the blend mode to something light related. Let's put this on top here. One second. Let's go with screen. And then I also go here to the blend ranges and make this a little bit more reduced. No. That doesn't look good at all. Let's put this in the background. Actually, that one was not too bad, but it sounds like it's not that great. Okay, so that's not the thing. Let's see if we find a better one. Maybe this one. Maybe that one. Let's try this one real quick. Are you guys still watching or? Everybody's already asleep. Chat is not moving anymore. You can ask more questions. Don't worry about that. Let's put this somewhere here. Maybe here. Place. Boom. Let's delete this up here. And then, yeah, this was too quick. Let's undo this. Where is it? There we go. So let's duplicate this. Hide one. Then I delete one on one side, like so. Okay. And then I make the other one visible and pull this down a little bit. That's not what I want to do. Put it like here. Give me the mask again. Boom. Okay. And then we delete the other side. Select invert. Okay. And now we have a little problem here because there is a hard edge here that we don't need. What the? Oh, I'm again on the wrong tool. Great. Oh, no, that was too much. Redo. What's happening right now? Okay, 1 second. So I want to erase this here. Let's make this bigger. 1 second, I'm just finishing this and then I'm looking at the chat. Okay, so now we have to remove this. Is that better? Does it look good? Does it look stupid? It's maybe not necessary, right? It doesn't. Yeah. It looks good, but it's like just too small. Sorry, what does it just say? The chat say? We are here, still here. Do you have a set of videos that can guide a beginner through the basics, become moving on to more complex stuff? What skill do you want to learn in the foreseeable future? Like I have some things like beginner. You can search on my channel. Like if you go to my channel on YouTube, here, there is here. You see this search icon here. It's pretty good. It's pretty small, pretty hidden. And you click on that, and you can go in there and, for example, look for basic or for beginner or stuff like that. You can see here I have some beginner basic tutorial for Affinity Photo, stuff like that, or essential. How do you write essential? Essential. That's wrong. Okay, there we go. So there I have some other things here, like ways to crop, masking tips, cropping tips again, all these kind of things that explain like basic functions of the software. So that's probably a good starting point to get that started. What is a skill I want to learn next? There is this guy, he's called, I have talked about him several times, Benny Productions, and he's really good at painting light. See, he does all these kind of amazing things like compositions. And he's really good at painting light into pictures, and like with these windows here and stuff like that. I really want to learn that better. I'm not that great at painting light. Let's go back here really quickly and find a lens flare. I want to put a lens flare in there, but so far they haven't been that amazing. I haven't or at least I haven't been able to integrate them well. I'm really thinking about doing a lens flare pack of my own, because I'm always searching around for these things. They never look the way I want them to look. So maybe I need to do my own thing. and then like have just a selection of 50, 60 different lens flares for different purposes that you can use. Let's try this one maybe. That seems pretty extreme. Let's go to Pexels real quick. Maybe they have something better. No. Let's go here, right effect. Let's give this one a try. If this doesn't work, let's not do a lens flare. It doesn't have to be a lens flare in there. Just thought it might be cool, but... And this is very limited also. We can rotate that a little bit, so that might help. I mean, that's actually not too bad. Okay, so this has these kind of stupid outlines here. So I will duplicate this. And then we can just erase the lower part. Yeah, okay. And then we can rotate that. No, not here. Want to rotate it here. So that's getting better. Let's duplicate this again. Move it over here. Good. So now what we have to do is just like delete the outer parts here. If it works. I was on the wrong layer. That down here a little bit. Okay, there we go. So next one. There we go. Next one. Okay, so now we have kind of a combination of that. And then let's bring all of them together as a group, rasterize, boom. And then go again to screen. And then I will duplicate this and make it bigger around that area here. Come on. There we go. Let's make that bigger. Blur that maybe. Okay, let's move this up a little bit over here. Okay, let's put them together in a group and then HSL maybe, or let's go color balance here, put that into the group. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it does. Oh no. If we do that, this kind of line there goes more visible. So that's stupid. Oh, I can delete the line still. Didn't think about that. Okay, cool. Nope, those are not good. Okay, don't do that. Let's go in here. Delete this a little bit here. Good. So that's better. Okay. Is that too much, maybe? Bit too, like, extreme? Let's go here for the blend ranges real quick. Now there's some other stuff happening here. It's probably... No! Where did we save last? Yes, I want to recover. Please. Ah, all right. Yes. Wow. Okay, we got lucky. So basically almost everything is in there. Let's forget these other parts here. Delete them and then just resize this. Wow. I thought we went back like a million years, but we didn't. Okay. Yeah, I was super lucky. Okay. Yeah, let's just go like that. Good. So we have spent so much time on this picture. It's really crazy. Sorry. I really spent a lot of time on this picture. Save now, please. Yes. All right. Sorry. Let's look at the stream. Sorry. I think every time, I think in recent streams, every time I come up with a more complex picture. In the beginning, we made like 3 pictures in one stream, and now it's just 1 picture. Because I'm just wasting time on all these kind of effects and stuff. I want to try one more thing here real quick, and that is to go down here and maybe use the node tool. Let's like just give this a quick try here. No. No, sorry. There we go. I just want to try this real quick. Where did the other curve go that I just created? Oh, it's up there. Okay, good. So let's select both of them. Oh, you can't do that? Really? Didn't know that. Okay. Let's go like this. Effects, outer glow. Let's delete the other one, and then I will simply copy this over and use my node tool. Okay, let's see. Does that look good or stupid? Well, it doesn't look as good as I thought it would. But maybe, where are my curves? There we are. Let's put them in a group real quick and put them behind everything, like so. And that is actually already a little bit better. Outer shadow. Set this to normal. There we go. Okay, so let's see. One second. Let's give this a try here. Let's delete this one. Copy this over. Whoa, okay. No, not like that. Let's copy this over here and actually put it in the middle of the building, not at the side. Let's put this down here. And then I want to have a new point over here to get this up there. Let's see. I thought that would look a lot better. You can see you can waste a million years on these kind of pictures. It's just like, oh, there, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. Like it's an endless project. Just trying to play around with different elements. No, that looks stupid. All right, so that wasn't amazing. Let's delete this. I still kind of feel like this looks kind of good. So let's give this another try over here. Pull this down. Make another copy over here. Or maybe not on too many of these buildings. Maybe let's take another one over here. And then we see if it looks good or not. 1 second. What does the chat say? Hi Olivia, just tuned in and went back to the picture. I am very surprised you like it that much. Yes, I do. It's very cool. Thank you very much. I'm very happy about your review. Yes, thanks. Thanks for taking part in the challenge. And yeah, it's a super exercise. Do more of them. I think Affinity Photo has an autosave function. It kind of does. I think you can turn it on. I'm not a super huge fan because it might save over things that you didn't want to save in that moment. Let's give the group a glow real quick. I'm really surprised that this over here is less glowy, but that's probably because the line is so thin. Let's see. Inside glow is white. Wait, if we make the radius bigger, no, that doesn't do anything. Let's make this intensity higher. Doesn't do anything either. So I probably have to give this a bit more. No. You know what? Easy trick. Let's just duplicate this. Is that good? No, that didn't work either. Okay, never mind. It's probably, let's see, if I put this to hard light. Doesn't this change anything? That's strange. Oh, I know why it doesn't change anything, because these are the effects over here, so they don't really have too much influence, the blend mode of the layer. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so I will do one thing here. Can I do that actually? Let's keep it like that. Okay, good. So let's go to the chat, and then I think we will only do one picture today, because we're already on 3 hours, or 3.5 hours almost. Photographer Demo says, please do an in-depth on printing with Affinity Photo. I have problems. The panel of my Epson. The problem is I don't have a printer at home, actually, so I can't really do one about those. Maybe I'm gonna buy a printer sometime soon, but at the moment I don't have one. And the other thing is, like, when I print something, I print it with like a print company, and so the best thing there is to ask them the kind of like what they need, how they work, and also to order samples from them. Like, there is these kind of sample boxes or sample books or something, like you have to order them per printing company. So that's a big thing there. Let's see, printing sample box. Let's go here. Let's see if we have there you see, printed.com. Is that a... Oh, they even have a free sample box. Okay, cool. Foil, bestsellers, photography collection. So you see, you can order that from some, ask money for that. For some, maybe here it's free, I don't know. And you get samples of, you can see here what's inside, like canvas print, photographic prints. I don't know how to pronounce that. Chisle print. I don't know. I'm not printing photos that often, like net photos in the sense of photos. I'm more like flyer stuff like that. There, it's just called postcard, business card, this kind of thing. But you get a sample of that, and you see the print quality and kind of how the colors look, how the coating looks, how these kind of, you see, like here you have white glossy or this kind of thing over that, UV coating, uncoated, all these kind of things. Also the materials, you can have like a paper or a carton or like aluminium or plastic or all these kind of things you can print on. So you want to see the different kind of qualities, how the color looks, how the text and the resolution looks. Like for some materials, they have like a very fuzzy surface, so you can't print sharp details, stuff like that, for example, So that's what you would do in that case. Should we add these kind of things, or do they look stupid? I'm not super happy with that, how it looks. It looks better when you zoom in, but not if you zoomed out. It doesn't look that great. Although that could again be Affinity Photo and how it renders things. Because I thought maybe we can put some light effects here. I want to try one last thing maybe here. let's make a selection here. I just want to try this real quick to see how well this would look. Gonna make a bit of a selection around these buildings on the street. Okay, let's go like that. Good. Let's make this a bit softer. Feather. 1, 2. Okay. No! Undo. Okay. Save. Nein. Katze. Oh. So. Sorry. All right. So what I want to do here actually is to paint on that a little bit. Let's take a brush here. That's maybe a bit too much. I'll make this a little bit smaller. Okay, take a nice blue like that one. And then I want to paint on here and see if this gives a good effect or not. Like I just had the idea to see if that might work or not. Let's set this to screen. Let's set this also to screen. That's too small. Okay. Oh my God. Like this side, pretty cool. This side, pretty bad. Okay, let's blur this a little bit. This is actually a bit better. I wonder if we need like a sharp highlight here, a highlight edge, if we would do that. Let's see. Set this also to screen. And then let's paint on this here. Oh, okay, this doesn't look good. Nope. Let's make this smaller. I'm not sure. I don't think this is going to work out the way I want it. Why is nothing happening? Something is happening, but not like, okay, let's go HSL. That looks like garbage. Okay, that was a waste of time. Yeah, I thought this might maybe look cool, like, you know, when I have this kind of street light coming out of there, but that doesn't, like, it looks better when you zoom in for some reason. Like, this doesn't look too bad, but then when you zoom out, it doesn't look like anything. Yeah, so this is something I want to get better at, this kind of setting these kind of light effects. I'm sure if I like play around with that for some more time, I can figure it out, but it doesn't look good at the moment. So let's not have these kind of street lights here. Let's turn this off. Maybe, I mean, these kind of, yeah, never mind. Oh, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one too. I think I can delete both of those. Okay, good. So just as a last kind of thing to do here, I will just move these around a little bit. Move one here, maybe move one over there, maybe have one here, and I don't know, maybe have one here. There isn't a big building here. Oh, there's more. Yeah, let's put it on this one. Okay. So let's adjust these real quick. And then maybe also change the colors. Okay, now of course I don't know which is which. There's the one. Okay, and then we're finished with that one, that picture. My cat is running circles behind me. He really wants to finish up here. Spend some time with him. All right, so let's be quick about that. 1 second. Lolo. Okay, next one. And then I will also adjust the colors a little bit for this kind of effect here. Lolo. He's not happy right now. Where's the building here actually? Is there a building at all? Oh, there we go. All right, so let's go into these real quick. Adjust them a tiny bit. Let's drag this out here. Or actually don't have to do that. Let's just click here. Boom. So I have my own window. And then let's adjust this here. Okay. Inner glow. Huh? I'm missing something here. 1 second. Oh, I also have an outer glow on all of my group, so I might have to turn that off for the rest to work. Okay. Let's go in here, make this one blue, and then I can leave this one on, and then let's go over here, make this one red, maybe. Or some other color. Turn this red. Turn this red. Okay, that's good. Let's go down here to this one, change that color too. There we go. Okay, and now we can maybe go in here, turn this on again, and just give this a more neutral color. Reduce it a little bit. Let's reduce the intensity a bit, make the radius a bit bigger. All right. So maybe that is good. Not so really good. 1 second. Turn this down a little bit because he's further away. And also this guy over here. Turn this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Well, there we have it. So that's the, I mean, it's not super amazing, but it's kind of nice. This is a bit too much here, maybe. Let's save this real quick. Is this the big one? No. That's the big one. Okay. Let's duplicate this, delete the, hide the one, and then make this a bit bigger here. Lolo gleich. There we go. All right. There could be a ton more things to do, of course. There's always something you can do, but I think it's not too bad. Maybe these lights are not the best idea. Like they could be a bit more neon kind of, but it's still, it's kind of nice. Maybe I turn this one off. That doesn't look good at all. Where's that? This one. Let's hide that one. All right, cool. Wow, okay, so I hope you enjoyed the stream. You had some fun. It was interesting to watch. I took a really long time with this one, I think. But yeah. Some people delete the live shows, really? Oh, that's interesting. No, mine are all on, even from the start. So yeah, I hope you had a good time watching the stream this time. I did only one picture. Next time I will like do easier things that go a little bit quicker. This was a bit too much maybe, but it was still cool. We had a lot of fun. Also the beginning this time was really long with all of the pictures, but that was pretty cool also to talk about those. That was really fun. Yeah, so thank you very much. And see you in the next stream. Have a nice day. Have a nice night, whatever time it is at your location. And stay safe, of course. And yeah, also stay creative and join my Facebook group. The link is up there. So yeah, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye. All right, I have to find the... Okay, again. Bye.